By New Vision Auto Glass.
Tired of looking through a windshield with a crack or chip in it?
Get it replaced with New Vision Auto Glass. Qualifying customers can get up to $375 cash back and a free dinner and Rodizio grill.
NewVisionAutoGlass.com.
480-210-9090.
Calling all sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Proudly sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing and is powered by the injury attorneys Lerner and Rowe. In a wreck and need a check? Make one call. That's all. 602-977-1900 and always online at lernerandrowe.com. Now time for Calling All Sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. On Fox Sports 910.
Hey, everybody, the Cardinals schedule is out. We're going to dive into that. Also, a victory for the Diamondbacks yesterday over the Reds at Chase Field. And they have today off, and they will welcome in the Tigers tomorrow. And the PGA Golf Championship is underway with first round action. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Fox Sports 910, 99.9 FM HD3. Also on the iHeartRadio app. It's Roc, it's Manuch, it's Jimmy, it's Jax, and Chris Schubert, our technical director at the iHeartRadio studios today, broadcasting live from beautiful Twin Peaks in Glendale.
You got it all going on. You got the soccer going, the golf. You got replays. I mean, it is what about 1190 TVs out here at the Glendale location?
How many?
1190.
What is that term? I've never heard that before.
1,109. It's a term I use a lot for.
You've been doing this 20 years with me. I've never heard you say that.
I use a lot with my quarterbacks if they're doing good, or I said if they really screw up, you got 1190 push-ups. It's just kind of a term. That's a lot, which means there's a lot of TVs out here at Twin Peaks. Watch whatever your heart desires sports-wise.
You opened the show, Jimmy, and I don't remember seeing it on the show sheet. I am not going to talk about the Cardinals schedule. So when you guys go down that road, I'm going to step aside and then have a cold one.
Okay.
Because it is a waste of airtime.
I agree 100%.
Well, then why'd you leave with it?
That's bad news for our poll question today, Roc. Bad news for the poll question.
Yeah, right, man.
I'm just saying. I mean, it's just nobody gives a you-know-what.
We were in studio Tuesday. We discussed these games that were going to be played, and Shu went off with a diatribe about how he's already checking bye weeks and who's going to play in Europe on which weekend, and how is that going to affect his favorite teams going coast to coast on their airlines. I'm with you, Roc. We already knew who they were going to play.
You agree with Roc on everything.
No, I
don't. That's a misnomer there.
No one gives it. You know what? I mean, seriously, we knew what the teams were months ago. You just didn't know the dates.
I think
you knew which teams you were going to play. You knew you had the NFC, North. I mean, you knew who you had.
Correct.
How does it change anything other than a few of us that may plan to go see the Cardinals on the road, which I was going to go to Lambeau and see him, but it's the same weekend as Ohio State, Oregon, so I'm going to Oregon instead.
I think the reason why I like going through the schedule is to see where they have a chance to make improvement, where their hard 4 or 5 games are, where they can make up ground.
You don't even know their team yet. You don't even know the roster. You can't tell me who the right tackle's going to be. I mean, it's one of those things where it's such a waste of time.
I know the roster.
How do you know it's going to go up and down? What happens if somebody gets hurt? If Kyler gets hurt in the first week of preseason, all this crap that you just mentioned in May 16th about the schedule, no one's going to care.
It's all predicated on if they stay healthy. That's one thing.
It's with everybody.
Okay? So, but when you look at the schedule, okay, where's there a chance for improvement? Where's there a chance as far as they're going to really struggle? And the starting lamp's already set, Roc. They already got their depth chart.
Yeah, you think it's going to stick?
Well, initially, you got to hope the first 4 or 5 games.
It's May.
Well, you know what, Roc? Hey, here's a chance.
So did you have them winning against Buffalo first week?
Oh, no. I don't.
Okay. Good.
No, I don't. I don't have that. I got them 2-2 after 4 games.
I had a boy of 3.
And have we ever gone back in the 19 years we've done this to check how many games that we went through? No, we haven't. We've never gone back. I just think people don't go back when they do draft mock drafts.
I remember last year you said they win 5. I think I said 6 or something.
Yeah, but we'll have that conversation on opening day. All right, let's go. That Thursday. The Thursday of the season. Let's go. All right, how do you think Cardinals are going to do? Well, they went to they're 1-2 in preseason, and all right, I got them 5 wins. Done.
Okay, and
It's crazy. It's just such a joke. I have so many friends of mine that have addressed this to me in the last 3 days. That why do so many talking heads get so riled up about the damn schedule?
I'm with you.
I just, it's amazing, and I agree with them. I said, you guys are right, and I'm listening to the Flagship, and they're doing the same thing.
Yep.
And they're even down. They're saying, "Oh, why?" It's like they've been told by management that they have to break down the damn schedule. Seriously, because it is. I mean, come on. How can you not agree with me that going over the damn Cardinals schedule on May 16th is worth a you-know-what?
Well, I like it because as far as I say, it's the improvement.
How can you tell me an improvement? Give me an example.
Who are they going to struggle?
And they lose against Buffalo. So what are you going to tell me about that next game?
Well, you get the Rams after the next game.
Okay, so have you seen anything today, May 16th, to tell you that what they did on that first game against Buffalo, they're going to improve or not improve because they got LA next game?
I will say it's a much improved offense with the lineup they're looking to go
How do you
with.
know? They haven't even thrown one pass yet.
Well, I'm just trying to tell you what I see on paper.
Paper.
Yeah, what I see on paper, hopefully.
Same thing like baseball cards. Guys, he had 30 home runs last year, so this year he's going to have a good year.
From a football perspective, when I look at the lineup, I look at the defense, this team and the team that they're playing against, I look at, okay, the Rams probably come back the same. Detroit much improved. You look at Washington should win that. So I kind of go through, okay, I got them in winning 8 to 9 games.
Who do you go through this with? Because
myself,
if I'm doing the show with you, we're not doing it because I'm driving the show and let's talk WNBA instead.
Anybody that, oh my gosh, so you're doing WNBA versus NFL? Hoy.
No, by the way, it's not the WNBA anymore.
What is it?
It's the W. What a joke that is. It's the W.
I missed that memo.
Oh, you're not watching ESPN, obviously.
You're not
prepping for this show.
The W?
All they do is they call it the W. The girls are like, oh, yeah, it's the W. Like,
the thing about the schedule, it's if all things, hopefully things go well, and they stay healthy, where they have an opportunity to make ground, can they have a chance to win more than 4 games this year? And the way I look at it, I looked at this thing, okay, here's what's really, really tough. Here's a chance to make hay. Can they come out the first 5 games at 3-2? After the first 6 games, 3-3, then you kind of go, okay. Then they got a chance to be much improved. Will they make the playoffs? No. So that's how I look at it from a football perspective, and reference again to the season.
All right, so that brings us then to our State 38 roofing. Get your call question of the day.
Did that all by myself.
Got an audible.
Remember, Manuch writes.
That's right, man.
For a free quote, repair, or installation, head to state48roofing.com. You can follow them on social media by searching #sexy roof status. Here's the question. How many wins will the Cardinals have with this year's schedule? How many wins? You have 4 chances.
Prediction.
1-4, 5-8, 9-12, 13-17. Rock, what's your pick?
5-8.
That's where I am.
That's where I am too. 5-8.
All right. What else is there to talk about that?
We're done.
No,
this team's going to suck. Why would we waste our time talking about a team that sucks?
Because you get a chance. Let's talk about the other teams. How about the
other teams?
Yeah.
Well, this has nothing to do with the other teams.
Okay, but I think you look currently right now. A lot of folks have voted. 58.8% have said 5-8, 9-12, 35.2%, 13-17, 5.9%.
What? People actually thought that?
1-4, market improvement. 0% says it's gonna be market improvement. So 5.9%. I said 13-17. I just kind of look at the season, overall the season, and just kind of figure, okay, you look at the season, you get a chance to see number one, who's on the road, where you playing on the road, who you playing at home. You got your first 3 or 4 games at home. You would hope as a Cardinal fan, they go 3-1. I got them at 2-2 the first 4 games, 3-3 after 6. So that's when you look at it and go, is this going to be a marketed better team? And where are they going to struggle? Where should they be able to make a run? And I think those are some of the things, if all things considered. But if Kyler Murray gets hurt, you're right. Or anybody else gets hurt, it's like anybody in the NFL. And then, or you take advantage of other teams if they get their stars hurt as well, too.
All right, so I have a question. So if that's the case and we're doing this today, when we got word of which teams they were going to be playing, and we've known it for a long time, didn't we kind of do that when we saw the teams that they were going to play?
Sure did.
Well, another thing is where they're going to be playing at. So now you got to look at that. Okay, you got to go to.
Well, we knew it was an away game or a home game.
Yeah, but I mean,
What do you mean that? If it's going to be a neutral site?
Well, where they listed during the season? Are they early? Are they late? That's the thing. We knew they were playing.
He's talking about the weather. The weather.
You're concerned about weather in May.
No, I'm just look.
A lot of these stadiums have domes too now.
Well, exactly. But if you're going to go,
what they got what Green Bay? You worried about that
in
Week
October?
7?
Yeah, you got
No, it's perfect weather then.
Okay, well, you never know. Once October hits back in the Midwest and back east, you just never know. But you look at the last.
So try to make it said. Taking time,
my football mind,
football schedules.
Yeah.
What I like a poll question like something. What's the? I don't know. Let me throw this out as an audible. What's the number one prime time game to start the season? Like week 1, what's the best prime time game? There's Ravens Chiefs, Packers Eagles, Rams Lions, Jets Niners. Those are the 4 that you get to pick from.
I'd say Jets Niners. I like that one. Aaron Rodgers return in San Francisco.
I favor that game as
Ravens,
well. But
Chiefs,
I would like to see Ravens Chiefs.
Come on.
Monday Night Football.
I'm waffling.
Well, the return of Ken Aaron.
Jets, it's a joke. The Jets are going to be a bad football team. The problem is ESPN is all New York.
They are.
And they just jump on it. When you got the host of the shows, the biggest shows that have the biggest ratings are Jet fans. It's all going to be Jets.
And that's the Chiefs Ravens. That's going to be a hell of a game. You have the 2-star quarterbacks going at it. But I think the intrigue. I guess I'm intrigued to see Aaron Rodgers coming back. If what he can do for this team, how much, if they will at all, be improved. Is Aaron Rodgers versus the 49ers? That hype maybe can last more than 4 or 5 plays. That's the only reason why is the Aaron Rodgers hype to see how he does or how he doesn't do. Yeah, it's a given. You got the Chiefs and Ravens. That'll be a great game. But I'm talking about that primetime Monday night game with all the hype that they had last year with Aaron Rodgers. Can he come out and match the hype and last more than 4 plays?
And play more than 4 plays.
The sad part about that is a lot of talking heads don't even want him to play that game. They don't even want to be in that game because of what happened last year.
Well, he's got to play sooner or later, Rock. I mean,
exactly.
If he's healthy, he's playing. You kidding me? He's running the offense. He's the quarterback OC. Co-head coach of the New York Jets. This is on him, man. This is his deal. This is his offense.
They did do a good job. If anything I can say positive about the Jets is they did a good job bringing in some offensive line help, which they do need. Hey, you can bet the game, watch the game. The Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona, they got 3 live betting windows, 6 self-service betting kiosks, plus 8 screens that display all the betting windows. So check it out for yourself. Open daily. It's beginning at 8 o'clock. But it is Thursday. That means we are broadcasting Twin Peaks locations. Today we are in Glendale. That's right. So you can take advantage of the 29-degree man-size drafts. Coming up, we will have our Document Solutions play of the day. It's not really a play. It's an open mic. It's great sound. We'll have that for you. But right after Jackson gives us our Vans PGA Championship update. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Fox Sports 910.
Clear. Hey, it's Gross. Join me, Bauer, and Jackson every Saturday from 11 to 1 live from the Sportsbook at the CAZ Sports Bar at Casino, Arizona for Take the Points. Powered by the Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar.
There's something that binds us all. The constant hunger to improve. The obsession with every detail.
Yes.
And the reward of a custom fitting, taking your game to a whole
I think I have both.
We're all bound by 2 words said by golfers worldwide.
Okay.
Schedule your fitting at Vans Golf Shops. Find your local store at worldwidegolf.com. Get there.
Hey, it's Dom with Venezia's Pizzeria. You know us for delicious family dinners and huge party pizzas. But did you know we are great at feeding a large group too? Our full catering menu has a ton of variety, so everyone will find something they love. And the best part? We don't charge per head. Just tell us how many people you need to feed, and we'll handle the rest. Check out our catering menu at venezias.com. That's venezias.com. Venezias, a family and catering tradition.
What seems to be the problem?
Doctor, thank God. My husband found out Cricket Wireless has 5G plans for $15 a month, and his jaw just dropped.
Did he hear about Cricket's blazing fast 5G?
Yep.
What about their reliable nationwide coverage?
Yes, that too.
I see. Unfortunately, there's no cure.
Oh.
But you will have really fast 5G.
Get jaw-droppingly fast 5G for $15 a month. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Cricket 5G requires a compatible device and is not available everywhere. Video may be limited to SD. Fees may apply. Terms and restrictions apply. Subject to change. See store for details.
At Skechers, we put the S in comfort. Now, I know you're probably spelling comfort in your head and asking yourself, is that possible? Am I just a really bad speller? Look, I don't know your spelling aptitude, but Skechers most definitely put the S in comfort because Skechers is the comfort technology company and has developed fits and features that change everything you know about comfort, like hands-free Skechers slip-ins, the ultimate in comfort and convenience. It's footwear you just step into and they're on, with no bending down. Find Skechers at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Time for your latest Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B leaderboard update presented by Vans Golf Shops.
It's just in time. Again at the PGA Championship.
Swing into Vans Golf Shops and get custom fit today. Vans Golf Shops. Unmatched service, unmatched expertise.
And at the top, Xander Schauffele, 9 under, a course record of 62, followed by Tony Finau at 6 under, tied with Sahith Theegala at 6 under. Rory McIlroy, 5 under, tied with Robert McIntyre. And some notable names at the top, Brooks Koepka, 4 under. Max Homa, Victor Hovland, and Cam Smith, all at 3 under with Bryson DeChambeau. And, Scotty Scheffler, he thought he was rusty after having a kid. Eagle on the first hole, he's 2 under. He just bogeyed 5. But some notable
I got a
names.
question for you.
Yeah.
How's John Daly doing?
Oh, I'm glad you asked. I was about to go down to John Daly.
Yeah, who voted on John Daly, by the way?
I did.
Yeah, 11 over for Mr. John Daly. Tiger finished 2 over. And, guys, this is a notable name that's been struggling in majors recently since he joined LIV. John Rahm, 4 over through 6. His putting has been an issue.
You're just hoping that John Daly can get around for 2 rounds. I mean, he's a big man.
He is.
Hopefully nothing happens to the guy, but he's walking up and down. I think I don't know if he's smoking the heaters out there or not,
sure
but
he is. He is.
You just go, wow. And God bless him. You just hope that he can survive this to make it after tomorrow's round.
That's your Vans update brought to you by Vans, of course. Celebrate Memorial Day weekend at Vans Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf. Don't miss the incredible deals like 50% bonus trade-in on all new clubs, plus buy 2 apparel items and receive a 3rd for free, and save big in shoes, bags, carts, and travel covers. The more you buy, the more you save. Shop Vans this Memorial Day weekend, in-store or online. That's Vans Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf. Get there. Let's get to our Document Solutions play of the day. It's not a play, but it is a hot mic.
I will play the clip right after the intro.
All right.
Time for today's play of the day, courtesy of Document Solutions, leading the Valley in business solutions for copier and IT service. Their service can't be copied. 623-252-8282. Now let's get to the play of the day.
I'm Sussman here with the halftime show next. A busy action night around Major League Soccer. Get you updated on that and the thoughts of Aaron Heitzen on the first 45 minutes. All good.
Steven, you want to come coach this team? You want to come coach this team?
You're hot.
Can't be any worse.
How about that? The Portland Timbers, MSL, are heading to the locker room after just a bad first half against San Jose Earthquakes on Wednesday night. And the radio team was, getting ready for halftime, get some analysis going. However, the microphones on the Apple TV broadcast, as you just heard, were picking up the audio, and apparently they had no idea, and basically was kind of, having some fun at the fact that this team has lost 9 in a row and playing some pretty bad soccer. And you heard, can't be any worse. But ironically, they end up winning. They were down 2-0 in that first half. They end up turning that around and winning and snapping that 9-game win streak with a 4-2 win.
So if you're the head coach, you hear about that, you just kind of you blow it off, or you confront the guy, or
you got to confront him.
You got to basically, hey, look, I understand we may struggle, whatever, but we're doing the best we can.
You don't even say that. You just say, hey, We pay you to be a homer. You need to be a homer.
That is right.
That's what all the other guys do. You know Jimmy better than anybody.
I was never a homer announcer, and that's one of the reasons why I'm glad I never was a homer announcer.
Well, and I think any of your comments, if you're going to criticize during a break, you just got keep it to yourself. If you're going to say anything that should be fair, should be live anyways. I mean, if he says, hey, look, this team's struggling, he would never say, hey, I need to coach this team. That's a very flippant comment that I'm sure he went hand in hand with that head coach.
So there you have it. The play of the day, actually the sound of the day, brought to you by Document Solutions. Right now you could buy, lease, or even rent many makes and models that work off your smartphones. Pretty cool. Call 623-252-8282. Document Solutions of the Valley. Our service can't be copied. And ask for our buddy Greg House, and he'll take care of you. So there you have it. Here from Twin Peaks in Glendale. But I thought that was kind of interesting.
Look at hot mic stuff that gets you in trouble. And I learned early in my broadcasting career because I thought we were in a commercial break and I dropped an F-bomb talking to one of the guys
in the truck?
In the truck.
Yeah.
And I learned my lesson in a hurry. Fortunately, I did not lose my job over that, but I did get suspended for 3 games for that. That was way early in my career, and I learned a very, very valuable lesson. You don't say anything around the microphone.
All right, searching into YouTube, Jimmy Brinson F-bomb. See if I can get this rewind tomorrow. All right.
You found Mr. Jordan last week, did you not? So that could be. The other thing too is when they say, "Hey, look, just you're during the breaks, you're down." Never assume you're down. Never.
Exactly.
You never assume you're down.
Exactly.
Learn that like you, Jimmy. Go way back.
Yep.
Going way back. All right, you're hot. You're not hot. I just know we're always hot. That's always figured that. But that kind of thing. To your point, Rock. If hey, look, you're here to support the team, pick them up. If you've got any issues or concerns, keep them to yourself. Or if you're going to say something, say it live to the effect. Not like that. Just say this team's really struggling. I think Coach so and so has got to do. Give your opinion of what you think should be done with this team, and he can respect that. It's from a former soccer player.
It's so different if you're a homer announcer. And, even maybe 10 years ago, maybe 15 years ago, the announcers weren't as homery as they are now.
Homery or homerish?
Homery. They are now, and they have gone, it's us, them, we, they. The announcers think that they're playing the game. I never felt that ever. I was the guy delivering the game to you on television at that time. I'm not playing the game. But now that's what the home teams want. They want you to say just everything positive. They're down by 42, but there's 5 minutes left in the game. They still got it done.
I think you can critique, be fair about it.
I think that
you don't want to install people's intelligence, Jimmy.
Correct.
I think if they need to be called out, they're going to be called out during the game. And I think people will respect you more than the homer ish. Well, they're down by 42, but man, is that offensive line looking good? Really?
Yeah.
I mean, now you're insulting everybody's intelligence. I went to that with the Cardinals pregame and postgame show. Postgame show for over 12 years. I didn't sugarcoat what the hell was going on when they were 4-12 for 8 out of those 12 years, whatever. You can't do that because people will say, hey, look, are you watching the same game I am?
Watching,
so you got to be careful. You're not sugarcoating more than anything. So
Yep.
you can't, you got to be fair. You can critique and be fair what's going on. And I see some of the hometown guys here, and I'm like, guys, we're watching this same. It's okay for you to say, hey, look, he didn't come out of that route like he should have, or he's got to focus more, or you got to get rid of that ball. Or you got to keep your eyes up the field when you're looking down the field.
Yep.
You can be fair with that and not be so homer. You got to call the game like everybody else is seeing it.
That's
like,
right.
what the hell are you looking at?
That's why I like having Tim Kempton on, because Timmy played the game at such a high level, and he understands, yes, I am the hometown analyst, but I analyze what my eyes are telling me, and that's why I appreciate Kempton on the show.
One thing I think we need to get rid of, and I don't know why there's a run on this, and I love to get your guys' take on it. I mean, I really don't care what you guys say, but just for the sake of we're doing this radio show, for the sake of doing this radio show, Can we stop with the extra ESPN show with 3 guys in the left in the boxes doing the play-by-play?
Yeah.
They're doing that right now at the PGA Championship. I don't have no clue who these 3 guys are. I don't recognize them. Golf Week, Golf Channel, anything. And they're there just sitting around in their mom's basement doing the play-by-play. It's the same thing when you got Kevin Hart doing his deal, and you know, the only ones that make sense is I think got away was the Peyton guys,
the Mannings.
Yeah, but the Mannings. But this stuff for golf,
I know.
I'm watching it and I'm saying this is an absolute joke. I mean, it's a waste of time. Because these guys, obviously, they're not even professionals.
No.
Meaning that they played the game or played golf at that level. But they're out there just saying, well, he's putting for birdie. Oh, that was a little long. Oh, hey, what do you think about the weather today? You know, I'm like, dude, let's just stick to the broadcast. The guys that get paid that do a good job. But this
alternative broadcast
is awful.
It's overkill.
Bad.
It's overkill. They just want to get more voices. They think it's more voices, more this, more that is something that's there. And I will say this, a couple things that you look at is I want to watch just to give me the shot, give me the guys talking, whoever the color guy is there, and that's it.
Yeah, you don't even need the color guy. But, yeah, I mean, you just need the play-by-play.
That color guy knows the course inside and out.
So does the analyst. I mean, the play-by-play guy
does too.
Guys, you are so all wet on that.
I'm not.
You guys know that we're going to catch up with Tom Lehman here at 2:00, and he'll tell us about knowing the course inside out. If he was a color guy,
but he's not. He's a player.
If the guy,
he's a major player.
The guys on the color guys on the golf, as far as undulations, shots, where they're going, what shot you need here, they know the course. Those broadcasters haven't played that course. Even if they have, they're not in tournament type situations. You think that whoever the broadcasters are for ESPN that have played Valhalla in a competitive time in a competitive game? Hell no, they haven't. So when the golfers have, they know exactly what they should probably hit here, what that rough is like, what the green's like, and they immensely blow that guy away. Are you kidding me?
I disagree. All I know is if something happened and one guy, if the analyst got sick, the broadcast would still go on.
Correct.
If the play-by-play guy got sick, the color guy can't drive it.
Well, number one, you get the.
Am I right on that? You agree with me on that one?
Well, there's a lot of color guys that could do the broadcast. They could definitely do that. They could step in there and kind of set the tone. You
knew he was going to defend.
Absolutely.
There's
You
no
kidding
way.
me?
There's no way.
I mean, look at Pat Summerall. He was a color guy. He started as a color guy. Then he went to the broadcast as the main guy. Until you got Tom Brookshire, and then you had Jonathan Madden. He was a guy that
Jonathan Madden?
Who's
Who's ever called him Jonathan Madden?
Yeah,
is that like
Madden.
Mike Jordan? Michael J. Michael J. Excuse me. It's Michael J. You or Mike Jordan? You old guys.
My point is,
Let's do it correctly.
Michael J.
Okay, please.
No, it's Mr. Jordan.
John Madden. So he got
J.
My point is, and Summerall
Jonathan
took
Madden,
over
everybody.
as the play-by-play guy. He was a color guy to start off. Just goes to show you.
Is this something I have to kind of look forward to or not look forward to as I get 10 years older and I'm up?
Would it go down memory lane? Absolutely, you do.
You're 10 years older than I am, and I think you're probably
I'm probably about 90.
20 years older than me. So it's like, am I going to start out of the blue saying, Mike, or I don't know,
Michael Jordan,
Michael J,
Peter Rose,
Peter Rose.
What about Peter Rose?
Use a surname. Sometimes I use surnames.
No, but why? That's not what you're supposed to do as a broadcaster.
It just adds a little flavor.
No, it adds like, somebody's tuning in saying, who's this guy on the radio?
Really?
I'm
sorry,
Jonathan Madden.
It adds some Michael J. It adds some color to the broadcast. There you go.
Oh man! Hey, we're gonna catch up with you, baseball columnist. He's a Valley resident, Bob Nightingale. We'll talk to him next, right here at Twin Peaks, Glendale. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
Michael J.
This is Clear Trending on Fox Sports 910 Phoenix.
Former Coyotes goalie Connor Ingram was named the NHL's Bill Masterton Memorial Trophy recipient for his perseverance, sportsmanship, and dedication to hockey. The Cardinals' 2024 season begins in Buffalo against the Bills September 8th, while their home opener is the following week against the Rams. Phase 3 of the team's OTAs start Monday. The Diamondbacks are off their 2 below 500, heading into tomorrow's series opener with the Tigers. Ryan Nelson is projected to start, while the Snakes will get a look at early AL Cy Young candidate Tarek Skubal. The Suns will introduce new coach Mike Budenholzer tomorrow. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports. Available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
Life's a sprint. Meet G2G protein bars. Grab and go fuel for the office, links, and daily grind. Score an 8-pack at Costco or explore flavors at G2GBar.com. Quick, delicious, power-packed G2G protein bars. Setting your pace.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, historic rivalries tip off with shareable bites, and every shot you take is a game winner. All season long, you're balling with 29-degree beer, courtside seats, and scenic views. I mean, where else can you pair wall-to-wall hoops with hard-to-find whiskey? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Stick around after the sun sets. Twin Peaks is open really late. Wind down with bourbon and late-night bites.
Is it time for an all-in-one wireless printer with tons of connectivity options? With Document Solutions of the Valley, you can buy, lease, or rent models that work off of your smartphone. Call 623-252-8282. Document Solutions of the Valley. Our service can't be copied.
Investing in a high-quality misting system from Fogco will be the coolest decision you ever make for your home patio, pool area, or commercial property. Fogco, the Valley's original manufacturer of high-pressure fog systems, is one of the pioneers in the misting industry for over 35 years. Let Fogco transform your outdoor living and entertainment areas into a cool and soothing tropical showcase. If you're looking for quality, reliability, and value, get a free quote at fogco.com. That's FOGCO.com.
Every business faces challenges, but complicated, expensive, and uncertain shipping shouldn't be one of them. With USPS Ground Advantage from the United States Postal Service, you can avoid all the noise. No more unexpected surcharges, hidden fees, or complex rate structures. It's just easy, cost-effective, and dependable shipping. Tune your business's frequency to success.
Bob's good to go.
Shipping to your advantage. Learn how at USPS.com/advantage. USPS Ground Advantage. Simple, affordable, reliable.
This month only, you can get $500 off all water softeners with my friends at Plum Smart. Hey, it's Jody Ayler. Did you know that water softeners can help extend the life of your plumbing and appliances in your home? Plum Smart also offers 0% financing or no payments for 12 months. So if you want $500 off all water softeners this month only at Plum Smart, call them today. 480-654-8865. Or go to itsjustplumsmart.com because plumbers and AC guys charge too much.
Progressive makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your motorcycle, RV, boat, ATV, and more. All your protection in one place. Bundle and save at progressive.com. That's progressive.com.
Coming on to run for Pavin Smith. A chance to be the hero for Gurriel. Into right. Towards the corner and down for a hit. Diamondbacks take the lead.
You're hot.
D-backs get a nice win yesterday. Take 2 of 3 from Cincinnati. And joining us now, talks of baseball, Bob Nightingale, USA Today baseball columnist. And he joins us now on the Right to the Guest line here on Fox Sports 910. Bob, before we get into some Diamondback talk, I just want to first, you had a story recently about Ellie De La Cruz of the Reds and basically what he may do next. And you noted that he's the first player with at least as many home runs as stolen bases in 1 month, which hasn't been done since the 1900s in one. But if you were going to kind of compare him to somebody, who would you compare him to at this point in his young career?
No, he reminds me of, and I'm going back now, is when I was covering Kansas City Royals, it was Bo Jackson.
Okay.
When Bo Jackson came and joined the Royals, he would do stuff like that. Just a crazy arm strength. Remember, throwing out Harold Reynolds at the plate with, flat-footed for the warning track, being out ground balls at second base. Of course, tremendous power. But yeah, I mean, obviously he's more refined than Bo was, but just a unbelievable, athletic ability that he could do something crazy at any given time.
When do you expect the general market per se to start really marketing him? I mean, I know you're close to it, so you probably see it than most. But I know how I have a lot of friends that are baseball fans, and they just know a little bit about him because he's in such a small market.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you're talking about one of the smallest markets in America, And I think if he makes the All-Star team this year, maybe does a home run derby too. That will put him more in the spotlight. And hey, kudos to him. He's just 20 years old. He came over and said, "You know what? I want to learn English so I can relate to everybody." And he has. Soft-spoken guy, but yeah, he wants to do everything right. But I think the All-Star game, and if he does a home run derby with it, that will certainly help jump him out there.
And Bob, the one thing you look at him and not being around that much is that his baseball IQ is maturity for such a young guy. And as you wrote, he wants to get better each and every day. That's one thing that's impressive for a very young guy.
Yeah, I love the fact that here he is, 20 years old, and as the Reds guys will tell you, first guy in the weight room every day. Watching video and stuff like that, and saying, "Hey, I got it made. Look at my New York rides. It's easy." He wants to be great. He wants to be the best. So really cool to see, especially for a young guy.
Bob, you mentioned in your story that Diamondback players were asking for his autograph. Has there been another player like that it's he's visible to the point where he's signing autographs for the opposing team?
I think it's the case now for the guy where we recognize this guy's going to be special. Let me get my autograph from him now. Maybe we'll be able to get it later on, or at least I can say, "Hey, I got his autograph back before he became a 10-time All-Star." That sort of thing. So yeah, pretty cool. I mean, it shows you how much respect he already has from opposing players.
Also, on top of that, as we look at they won 2 out of 3, that being the Diamondbacks. The Reds are struggling, but the D-backs, they've won 7 out of the last 10. Are they starting to get a little traction after Brandon Pfaadt had a phenomenal game yesterday? It seems though guys are getting healthy. They're starting to play much better baseball just to kind of keep within earshot of the Dodgers and just to kind of hang around, just be there, hopefully toward the back half of the year.
Yeah, now they got to start being up on teams besides the Rockies and Reds.
Yeah,
they won 5-1 against the Reds. Won 5-2 against the Rockies, that sort of thing. So yeah, I mean they start getting beat some other teams. They're coming around. A little bit of a slow start. Still a very good team, and you look around. Outside about 4 or 5 teams in baseball. The wild card pictures are wide open for everybody. So there's no reason why the Diamondbacks, especially getting some guys healthy, getting a guy like Montgomery, because he missed all spring. Once he gets settled in, if Rodriguez comes back at some point, they should be just fine.
Bob, what do you say to Diamondback fans that are wondering what's going on with Corbin Carroll? They sat him yesterday. He's batting 193, 8 stolen bases. Just really, really off to a slow start, especially after what he came off of last year.
Yeah, I think we did last year kind of spoiled people. What he did, but you're seeing that just how tough pitching is, particularly for young guys. I mean, the Orioles bring up Holiday. He was last about 3 weeks. Back in the minor. Texas had the 2 kids doing nothing. Cheerio for Milwaukee hasn't done much at all. It's just tough. I mean, even Rodriguez for Seattle, has not lived up to the potential he showed early on. But just people make adjustments. You got to make them back. But I've talked to a bunch of scouts and other people around the game that have seen Carroll, and I say, what's wrong with him? And nobody sees anything. He says, you know what? A little bit of a slump, people busting balls inside on him. He's probably putting some pressure on him. But nobody sees a drastic thing wrong. Like, okay, this guy's really a mess. Nobody, I've heard one soul say that. Everybody says he'll be fine. He'll be fine.
Bob Nightingale is our guest, USA Today baseball columnist on the Right Toyota guest line. Bob, take me around the league then, and it seems now that the so-called top teams are beginning to do exactly what everybody is expecting of them to do. Is there a surprise team early here in the season for you?
Well, probably my two biggest surprise in the Central. One would be Kansas City Royals, lost 106 games last year. Here they are, about 8 games over 500 and hanging around the division lead than Milwaukee. I mean, here's Milwaukee. They trade away, former Cy Young winner Corbin Burns, lose Brandon Woodruff, lose Wade Miley, don't have their all-star closer Devin Williams.
3.
And look what they're doing. They're going to seem like they overachieve every year. They're doing it once again. So those two teams probably jump out the most to me.
Have you seen as one of the youngest, most talented team with the Orioles right now? Them and the Yankees going back and forth. When you look at that Orioles team, that young talent that they have, Bob, I mean, that's got to be pretty impressive. Are they a little bit ahead of the curve from just a few short years ago?
Yeah, I think they are. I mean, they jumped out there last year. They made noise 2 years ago. Like, okay, they're starting to get ready, and then 101 games. So winning that, particularly in the AL East, and they're pretty much on pace to do the same thing. So yeah, I think it's the most young talented team in all baseball. It reminds me so much of what Houston Astros. They completely tanked there for 3 years, lose over 100 games. Then they came in juggernaut. The Astros got 7 straight ALCS appearances, and I think Baltimore is poised to do the same. I would still like them to get one more, maybe veteran starter, certainly a veteran closer, and I think they have a good chance they may to win the World Series.
So, Bob, I got to ask you, yesterday's game, 1 hour, 59 minutes, the shortest game for the D-backs this year, and you got to go back to like 2008 for something even less than that. What did you do with all that extra time after you at the ballpark?
Actually, sitting there right about Elgin Cruz, the things went so fast. But, it's amazing because you're at the Chase Field. They cut off those beer shields in the 7th inning. You better hurry up and drink fast.
Great point. Bob, thank you as always for making time. We appreciate you.
Sure, my pleasure.
Bob Nightingale. Follow him on Twitter, X. B as in Bob Nightingale on Twitter. Appreciate USA Today Baseball columnists. Coming up, we'll give you a quick update on the NFL schedule. Are driving the major windows of prime time, and it's hard to believe another New York team, Hard Knocks. Tell you about that next. It's Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B.
Win some bonus bucks. Listen for your chance to win $1,000. Dollar bills yet. When you hear the keyword at the top of the hour, weekdays from 9 to 5, enter it at foxsports910.com to win. Sponsored by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorneys.
Hey, Arizona, it's your local accident attorney, Kevin Rowe from Lerner and Rowe, where there are no fees until we win your case. Speaking of win, we want to help you bank $1,000, powered by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorneys. Interact, need a check? Call Lerner and Rowe today, 977-1900.
What's up, guys? Jason Payne, owner of State 48 Roofing. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook, #SexyRoofStatus. All of our work using state-of-the-art materials and 5-star workmanship. Our inspections are free. You heard me? Free. Go to state48roofing.com to schedule your free appointment today.
When it comes to men getting a vasectomy, you want to ensure you go to the experts. So call Purely Vasectomies. Purely Vasectomies. They're easy, comfortable, and convenient. They have single appointment options with a same-day consultation and vasectomy. Plus, there are 3 Valley locations. Their experienced specialists take the time to answer all your questions. They offer sedation to keep you comfortable, and most men can return to work next day. Call Purely Vasectomies at 844-NO-SPERM.
Arizona's largest locally owned A-plus BBB rated towing company is All City Towing. They're always looking to add motivated and competitive team members. Do you fit the bill? If so, head on over to allcitytowing.com/careers for more information.
In the fast lane of life, your fuel should keep up. Time to check out G2G protein bars, your ultimate grab-and-go meal replacement. Whether it's a workday, gym session, or navigating daily chaos, G2G has got you covered. Find them now at your local Costco in the refrigerated section, or explore all 8 fantastic flavors at G2GBar.com. Great tasting and packed with protein, so keep pace with life in the fast lane with G2G protein bars.
With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, banking with Capital One is the easiest decision in the history of decisions. Kind of like choosing Derek Jeter as the pinch hitter for your baseball team.
Jeter, you're in. We need a home run.
I'll give it a try. I've swung a bat once or twice.
That's out of here. Yep, even easier than that. With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, is it a decision? That's banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle. Unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ziprecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ziprecruiter.com/free.
It's Thursday, and the guys are live at Twin Peaks Glendale, located at 95th Avenue in Glendale.
You're killing it.
So the New York Football Giants will take part in a new version of HBO Hard Knocks, and they are going to be following the team, and they already started in January.
So complete off season. It's a 5-part series on HBO. It'll debut July 2nd, and they've had camera crews that are just kind of chronicling the team's every move, beginning, as I said, in January. So I think that'd be pretty cool to see how that all goes down, the offseason stuff. I think for most of us, I think that follow football, you much rather watch Hard Knocks than talk about the schedule.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah. Manuch would rather get into the schedule.
No, I like the Hard Knocks, especially. I'd like that during the preseason. This will be fun just to kind of, a lot of fans will pull the curtain back, see what they do in OTAs and
so Jimmy, you don't have HBO, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. I
do. You have HBO?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean,
I've
yesterday
watched
was a
Hard
big
Knocks.
deal about Netflix.
Well, yeah, I don't have that. Well, that's a stupid streaming thing. So
It's actually probably better than
So
HBO.
Stupid streaming thing, Netflix?
Because,
yeah.
You
why
don't
would it
have
be
there?
stupid?
So
You
I
don't have it?
Well, yeah, because I don't have it.
Yeah.
I don't want to pay for it.
So that makes it stupid because you want to
Yeah, I don't want to pay for it. I mean, if you watch,
you could have got a whole year's
Yeah.
worth of Netflix if you didn't buy that stupid ping hat you wear on. You're wearing right now.
I knew that's why I wore it today.
It's a rainbow color.
Because it's the PGA tournament, and I even said to Jack,
But nobody at PGA would wear that hat.
"Oh yes, they would.
No,
they wore them. Yes,
no,
they
they-
wore them.
Where did they wear
They
that?
wore them on the Pro Tour
It
when
is
they
a
were in Hawaii.
Jimmy,
they were wearing
they're
these
getting-
hats.
they're
It's
getting
a
paid.
rainbow hat.
Yes, I know.
They're getting paid to wear the hats.
Yes, I'm well aware of that.
You're not.
Well, I know that, but I wore it today because it's a ping hat, and it is the PGA Golf Championship, so it is a golf day.
So it makes you feel like a better golfer?
I in my own mind, yes.
I think that the Hard Knocks series are, I think, for the average fan, they love to see how these guys get prepared. I'm sure they'll talk, talking about the draft, OTAs, but I like, I mean, to that, it's like, okay, I like it when they're actually at training camp because I think that's where the rubber meets the road. That's when you can see these guys getting after it, what they're like, the coaching decisions, the meetings, all that other stuff. This coming up is, okay, you'll watch it, but I like the actual Hard Knocks in the summer and training camp or following a team through the season.
So Chiefs begin their quest for a three-peat. They'll host the Ravens in the kickoff game, which will be Thursday, September 5th. The first Sunday night game will be the Lions and Rams. And then the Monday night game will be the 49ers hosting the Jets. And the NFL will once again take over the holiday programming, as we were talking about Netflix. Lions host the Bears. Cowboys host the Giants. Packers host Dolphins. That's on Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
And then Black Friday, we'll have the Chiefs and the Raiders. Very appropriate to have them on Black Friday. And then the Steelers will host the Chiefs, and the Texans will host the Ravens on Christmas Day. Here's the thing. Everybody making such a big deal about who's playing on those holiday games. We are going to watch no matter who it is.
Oh,
Absolutely.
yeah, we will.
It could be
I could care less.
It could be Jacksonville and Carolina.
Yeah, and no one's going to not watch it.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't know who, I mean, if you're a true football fan, Christmas, which is on a Wednesday this year, Thanksgiving, Black Friday. I mean, I just think the Friday games are for National Football League and college are wrong.
So are the Chiefs America's team now that they got eight count them standalone windows for prime time, and then 5 more times will be featured in that late Sunday game to
Well,
be the top game of the
Most definitely.
The Cowboy
Yes.
fans will argue that, obviously, but yes, it is indeed the Kansas City Chiefs.
Chiefs have trumped the
they have.
Cowboys. I mean,
Yep.
just their success, and then they're
I
going for
thought the Patriots trumped the Cowboys.
Oh, they did.
Because they were a dynasty.
at one time. Yeah, when Brady was with them, he was pretty much. They were kind of the.
They were the show.
They were the show. I
Yeah.
mean, Cowboys, if they could, win some playoff games, get back to a Super Bowl, that might get them back in the good graces. But right now, it's the Chiefs.
So let me ask you this, Jimmy B. Do you have ESPN Plus?
I do not.
Okay, so you're not going to be able to watch the Cardinals and the Rams, the Chargers on Monday night.
How about that?
I'll probably go to a refreshment stand and watch it.
A lot of places don't have that either.
I know. They're like me.
It's crazy how they're going to push down their streaming service.
They are. That's that.
To watch a
I'm
Monday night
rebelling.
game in Week 7.
Yeah.
It's the only game of the year on ESPN Plus.
Wasn't there a regular game on the regular ESPN? There's a Monday night. There's 2 Monday nights that night, and they're on ESPN Plus.
Yeah.
So what's the use? I'm laughing. I'm going, I heard that last night. Wait a second.
Yeah.
You got a Monday night game on regular ESPN. ESPN Plus for you Cardinal fans to go watch the other game.
They know how
on
bad
ESPN
the team's
Plus.
going to be.
Here's the
you know what? Rock that point, Jimmy. I think they film a bonus, but you got to go on ESPN
Because
Plus.
they got no primetime games?
That's it.
So ESPN Plus is their streaming. So now what they make you do for the PGA Golf, if you want to watch prior to ESPN's coverage beginning at 9 a.m. our time, you have to have ESPN Plus. So if you wanted to watch Tiger, who teed off early today, you had to watch ESPN Plus.
And unfortunately, we have that. We have all the plus.
I
and this
figured
and
you
that.
probably
You
did.
have. I mean,
we kind of work in the sports business. You really need to have those.
You
types
do
of
need to have that
features
stuff.
to
I'm
watch.
coming to your house, Rock.
Not a chance.
Kind of part of the deal, and you can write it off,
Manuch,
Jimmy.
in 20 years, Manuch has been at my house once. No,
Twice.
When I had the back surgery, we did my show in the backyard.
Well, back
no,
surgery-
you weren't even there.
No.
Gross and I.
No. We had the party, we had the show by the pool, and then we had the Christmas party there too. 3 times.
3 times.
Wow,
Absolutely.
in 20 years. Wow.
I've never been to his house.
Yeah, I can
Not that
understand
you haven't been invited like a
Never
United
been
time.
invited.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you've been invited.
No.
I've invited you several times. We were living in Central Phoenix.
Yeah, I don't want to go down that. Bad area.
Now we're in South
Bad
Phoenix.
area. Now it's even worse. South Phoenix. You've been around there, man.
Love South Phoenix.
If you go a half a mile left or half a mile right, you're screwed.
You're hosed.
You can't leave there.
Rock has always had something going on. Okay, hey,
Yeah.
how about a couple steak? Nah, we got something going on.
Shoot.
So.
Rock, do the COVID era shows count when we did it in the man cave? Does that count as going to your house?
Yeah, I guess I
Because
would.
We did that for weeks on end.
Yeah,
when we
that's
couldn't
true.
go anywhere.
That was true. Yeah, that was fun.
That was a blast.
I love to bring that back.
Rock's your piece
Yeah.
of work there with that
Man.
garage. Phenomenal man cave.
One other note has really nothing to do with football. So we are done with football at 50. Brought to you by Arena Sports Grill, which will have all the games, Manuch and Jimmy B.
Good.
If you'd like to go check.
I
any
like
of that
Arena.
out.
It's good.
What were you? When have you been to Arena?
We went there. Oh, maybe it wasn't a room.
No, it wasn't.
What was the one that we went
It
to?
doesn't matter, but it wasn't
Okay, it
Arena.
wasn't Arena.
Don't bring up another sponsor.
Oh, sorry. We would have known if you're at Arena, Jimmy.
Hey, on the same day that TNT came out and said they reiterated the network's desire to retain the NBA media rights, Warner Brothers Discovery, which is WBD is what they like to call it now, and NBC Universal have said that they will not share the package, meaning that Warner Brothers Discovery has no choice but to outbid NBC's reported $2.5 billion offer.
Incredible.
Adam Silver was like,
nuts.
He's like, let the bidding begin. I'm going to sit back.
You love to be the sales guy on that commission.
Man. Wow.
Even
if it's 1%.
And you know what everybody is upset about, and rightfully so, is Inside the NBA, the best television show on the boob tube.
It was.
Yeah, it could be gone.
Got to get Draymond Green.
Yeah, he's not my
Brutal.
favorite. Yeah, not my
Why
favorite.
are they putting him on that show?
Because Draymond wants to.
Who cares what he wants?
Evolve.
He needs
into
to go away
television.
with Patrick Beverly. They need to go on some island together.
He's controversial.
Start a prep school for basketball.
He's opinionated. He's controversial. All the above. Yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah,
I don't get it either.
He said he could guard Jokic better than Rudy Gobert.
Yeah,
Jokic
right.
averaged 32 points every time he played the Warriors.
He's just, I don't understand his shtick, if that's what it is.
Yeah. Well, we don't understand his shtick on the court either. So he's at that point. If he's coming back for another year to get his himself in line, but that to me, watching with these shows, it seems like I'm like, this guy's a knucklehead. He's articulate. He sounds good, but I'm going.
Is that why people are watching? They want to see what he's going to say.
Yeah, it's like
that's the draw.
When's he and Charles going to go off at each other on a regular basis?
I don't know. Did they not get along?
No, they do. They like to go at each other. In a fun way. They throw barbs back and forth at each other. But I think that's it. And what's Draymond going to say that's going to be totally off the wall? Then you got to be careful he doesn't get himself in trouble.
A random fact of the day has nothing to do with the NBA or the NFL, but I thought it was interesting. And hats off to those of you that have been able to do this. In 2005, 21% of Americans smoked cigarettes. So that's all right. Roughly 21 of 100 people, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. Now it's 11.5%, or less than 12 in 100.
Good for them.
How good is that?
That's awesome.
That's awesome. What if that has anything to do with vaping has gone up instead?
Yeah. Well, I was just going to say if that vaping scenario happens to be, and maybe people realize, hey, look, that smoking those cigarettes can cause cancer and bad health on top of all that. So they're heeding the message.
Hey, Tom Lehman is going to join us next. We're also going to catch up with Paul Coro from Grand Canyon. Exciting news as they have stepped up their conference in regards to athletics. So we'll get into that with him. Also, you'll have a chance to win a Twin Peaks gift card, a man card. That's all coming up here from Glendale, Twin Peaks. It's Rock, it's Manuch, Jimmy B, Jax, and Shu right here on Fox Sports 910.
Clear.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B has been sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing.
A homeowner just like you
decides
to fix his roof.
Okay.
He backs up his truck, ties one end of the rope to the bumper and the other to himself.
Smart.
He's working on the back side of the roof until...
What? Wait, no.
Yes, Dad was in tow.
Ooh, was he hurt?
A few bruises and his pride.
Save yourself with State 48 Roofing, offering maintenance, repairs, and replacements. Of course, licensed, insured, and bonded. From residential to commercial, state48roofing.com.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Historic rivalries tip off with shareable bites, and every shot you take is a game winner. All season long, you're balling with 29-degree beer, courtside seats, and scenic views. I mean, where else can you pair wall-to-wall hoops with hard-to-find whiskey? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Stick around after the sun sets. Twin Peaks is open really late. Wind down with bourbon and late-night bites.
Swing for the fences at BetMGM by boosting your next same-game parlay. Add an MLB SGP wager to your bet slip and activate your parlay boost token. If your bet with the token applied hits, you'll get a bigger payout. It's like driving in multiple runs with one big hit. Now's the perfect time to try a boost token, even if you're a rookie placing a baseball same-game parlay in the majors for the first time. Your BetMGM parlay can include bets on the money line, run line, total, and much more. Plus, make sure to check out Signature Bets for this baseball season, where you can wager on fun props and scenarios for a game. Go to your BetMGM account today to claim your same-game parlay boost token to get a larger payout from a winning MLB wager. Make all 9 innings even more exciting with BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks and official sports betting partner of MLB. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only, Arizona only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards are non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
Hello, Phoenix. We have some exciting news. Local high school sports has a new home right here on Fox Sports 910 a.m. The Coach B and Eternal radio show can now be heard right here on Fox Sports 910 every Sunday morning at 6:30 a.m. Don't miss it.
Family Talk with Straight Talk.
You give and you give. It's time to get with Straight Talk Wireless. You get a reliable 5G network and unlimited data, and you get to choose who joins your family plan starting as low as $25 a line. Does it have to be family? It can be family or people you like.
Get more lines and more savings. Switch to Straight Talk for family plans starting as low as $25 a line per month for 4 lines. Find us at Walmart and straighttalk.com. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com. Family plan discount with 4 lines, all on the Silver Unlimited plan. Taxes and fees apply.
Hurt in a wreck and need a check?
Veteran growth is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Broadcasting from the Rappy Law Group Studios. This is KGME Phoenix, KESC HD3 Phoenix. Listen on the free iHeartRadio app for all your sports talk, podcasts, and music. Free never sounded so good.
It's an off day for the Diamondbacks. They're 2 below 500 at 21-23. Heading into tomorrow's series opener with the Tigers, Ryan Nelson is set to start, while the Snakes will get a look at early AL Cy Young candidate Tarek Skubal. The Suns set to introduce new coach Mike Budenholzer in the press conference. Goalie Connor Ingram, the Phil Masterton Memorial Trophy recipient for his perseverance, sportsmanship, and dedication to hockey. The Cardinals season begins in Buffalo against the Bills September 8th, while their home opener is the following week against the Rams. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
Now your chance to win $1,000. Just enter the nationwide keyword GRAND at foxsports910.com. That's GRAND at foxsports910.com.
This is the Parker & Sons Weather Center. For all your AC, plumbing, and electric needs, call Parker.
For your Thursday, look for mostly sunny skies, temperatures in those mid to upper 90s. And then for tonight, mostly clear with those overnight lows dipping into the low 70s. For the Fox 10 weather experts, I'm Ty Brennan.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. Mattress Firm's Memorial Day sale is here. Save up to $500 on select adjustable bed sets like the all-new Temper Adapt collection with advanced pressure relief to help reduce aches and pains. Plus, get a $300 instant gift for pillows and more. Hurry into Mattress Firm today.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B is sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing. It's Thursday, and the guys are live at Twin Peaks Glendale, located at 95th Avenue in Glendale. Calling all sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Proudly sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing and is powered by the injury attorneys Lerner and Rowe. In a wreck and need a check? Make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. And always online at lernerandrowe.com. Now time for Calling All Sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. On Fox Sports 910.
Let's get right to it. How about Sheffield with a -9 to open up the PGA Championship? And joining us now, our friend Tom Lehman here on the right to it, a guest on here on Fox Sports 910. It's Roc and Manuch. Tom, how you doing, buddy? What's happening?
Well, I'm doing great. Yeah, 62 for Shoffley. That's pretty darn good.
Yeah, Shoffley's been playing well. I was at the Wells Fargo last week, and he was playing pretty well, but Rory it was his day. And it's good to see him up on the top of the leaderboard. How do you think conditions are going to play into this? It was nice for him to get out early, but it looks like the weather is going to, start getting some rain. You're seeing a lot of clouds now. It could make for a tough next few days.
Well, springtime in the Midwest is always a bit of a crapshoot. We all know that. You can get some beautiful weather. You can get some really bad things to move in. And, I know the course is long. It's 7,600 yards or whatever. And if it rains a lot or, get much at all, it will be even longer than that. I just don't think that you can make a golf course that's too long for these guys. I mean, the way they hit it, how far they drive it, their irons, how far they hit their irons. 7,600 is nothing for them. It's just a piece of cake in the store's discussion.
Is it more or less the long iron players? Those are most effective when you got a long course like that and gets wet, because it seems as though, as Roc alluded to, Tom, that they were throwing darts at the pin. They had that rain earlier and things were sticking. So is it the long iron prowess of these guys that really start to score or show up?
Well, I just don't think they hit a lot on. I mean, I think, when you think about, guys hitting 8 irons 200 yards and, or 190 yards and hitting their 7 irons, 215. And I mean, there's no such thing as a long iron anymore unless you're looking up on a par 4 or a second shot in a par 5. So I just, you start doing the math, but if you drive to 330 and you have the hole is 550, it leaves you 220. That's probably a 6 iron. the driver sits at the driver and a middle iron, for a 550-yard hole. And so there's no such animal anymore as rarely of hitting a long iron, over water to a tuck pin. It almost never happens. And I don't think it's going to happen this week. And I think the guys are just going to rip up that course because they do it every time they play there. They do low scores.
Tom, have you had success playing that course? How many times have you had an opportunity to play it?
Yeah, I played there a couple times, and I know that I finished. I think I finished 9th in the PGA one year when we played there. The course is a good course. Not a great course, good course, and it does give up low scores. Usually, it's in great condition. The greens are typically fantastic. I don't know how wide the fairways are, but about length. They try to really stretch the course and make the course, play very long. And that's always kind of what they do. Throw in some rough, but then when you get soft conditions like they have, it makes the course play wider. And I think really that's the issue is, when if your ball lands in the fairway, it's going to stay in the fairway. There's no bouncing, from the fairway into the rough when the conditions are soft. So soft conditions just makes the course play wider. It makes it, a little more room for error. And taking out that driver and just letting it rip is the way they're going to play it.
It's interesting. I heard Rory McIlroy talk yesterday about, to your point there, Tom, that it can be a wide open course because I get my shoulders and hips into it. And I can lay it out there. So I hear that and I go, I wonder, want to get your thought. Would this be the easiest major course they're going to face this year? You got the Masters, you got the Open, the British Open, the regular Open, and then this, would you say?
Yeah, I do think that this course is, it does give up low scores, and it always, like I say, it always has. I think when Tiger won, he shot about 18 under, and I know 15 or for one year when it was there. So it's conducive to low scoring. It's conducive to aggressive play. There is some trouble, but the guys who are playing well are going to avoid that. So they in the other course that could possibly give up low scores is always the Open Championship. If you get good weather on a links course, because they typically play shorter because the ball rolls so much, somebody's going to get around in a pretty low number, and that's kind of typical over there. If you get bad weather, then the scores go way up. The U.S. Open and the Masters are the ones that make you really earn that low one. You have to really play some amazing golf to shoot super low there. The PGA this week will give out some low scores.
Tom, do you still feel the undercurrent between the PGA and the LIV golfers? Because as we look at the leaderboard, it's the PGA guys right now who are sort of dominating, and the LIV guys are lowered down on the leaderboard. I'm just curious if there still is that undercurrent of tension.
Oh, that's a great question. I think it's gone on long enough where guys have adopted and adjusted to the status quo, which is two different tours. Really kind of with American guys competing against each other. It's a weird thing, and it hasn't done anything good for golf. It's created a lot of things in golf which make it look like just every other sport where it's all about just the money, and that's never a good thing. But I think the guys probably have kind of gotten used to it and live and let live, and maybe they may not be friends. But I don't think there's going to be a lot of guys looking to join Mickelson for lunch, But I think they probably see each other and acknowledge each other, and then just go about their business.
Tom, Rory McIlroy talked about the other day that he's less confident that these two parties can join forces. Do you feel that that's pretty much the case now, that there may not be a merger?
Well, without knowing anything about what's going on the inside, it just seems to me that it hasn't happened yet. And there must be a reason for it, and the reason is pretty difficult. So the longer you go without an agreement, I would say the more the chances go up that there never will be one. That would be, I would agree. Just looking at it from the outside, that the longer they go without getting it put together, then the chances diminish that it'll happen. And so I don't know. I mean, like, so much has changed with the PGA Tour. I mean, they now have a for-profit entity, and they've given players equity, shares of the tour, and have a bifurcated tour themselves with elevated purses and elevated events. All the stuff they always said they would never do, they're doing.
3.
So the whole appearance of it has really changed. Not only the way people perceive golf, but it's actually changed dramatically the structure of the PGA Tour and how they do business. It's very reactionary, which is, to me, the worst part about it. The tour got way behind the 8 ball, started reacting to everything, and other than being out ahead and being the people kind of leading the way.
And also, Tom, it seems as though Rory McIlroy, who's removed himself from being in the middle of all that, is playing so much better golf. It's amazing. You talk about all the time how mental the game can be. So when Rory's on, like he was last week, and playing good golf, what is it about his game in particular that you notice?
Oh, he's the same as everyone else. He becomes Superman. Just fearless. Just hitting the shit you have to hit and just letting it rip. And
What, 2?
About the repercussions. And so that's what I see with him is when things are really going his way. He's so aggressive. And because he drives the ball so well when he's playing well, he's on offense every single hole. So it's tough to beat a guy who is really kind of putting the full court press on. It's the equivalent of playing basketball and having the other team press you 90 feet for 48 straight minutes. There's never a break. You got to fight your way across the timeline. You got to fight your way to get a basket because this other team just never lets the pressure off. That's the way McIlroy plays when he's playing well. Just never let the pressure off.
Tom, we haven't had a chance to talk to you about this, but I was fortunate to get out and play the Estates course at the Biltmore that you helped redesign, or you did redesign the old Dobia course.
1 minute.
And I'm just curious, the process of going in and redesigning a course, and one that has such a long history, that being the Arizona Biltmore. But how long does that process take, and how enjoyable is it for you to kind of go through every hole and kind of say, all right, I'm going to do this, do that from all the different places you've played around the world?
Well, I really do enjoy it. It's a very fun experience. I like every portion, every from the preparation part to the construction phase to the grow-in phase. Now we're in the punch list phase where we're going back in beginning of the summer to kind of fix all the punch list items that things that never quite got done right or done at all. During the construction, it was a very, very tight timeline for construction. It was brutally difficult. So there's still things to be done out there, but there's always an issue. The issue we had really that made it very difficult was they built a new clubhouse, and they lost almost 5 acres of golfing space on the north end of the property. And they're already a very small property, a very tight little place, and so to try to find ways to make the golf course, legitimate, versus like the black tees, playing 6,000 yards. That just doesn't executive course. So it took a lot of work to try to find a way to make a golf course, still play 67 to 6,100 yards up the back, having lost, that much land to begin with. So it was a bit of a puzzle, putting it all together. So some things are new, a lot of things are the same, but at the end of the day, giving it a facelift too, and so it's a different look. So lost a whole bunch of trees the last summer's heat, and you got a whole bunch now put back in. So it's getting better day by day.
I wish you could have gone over to the links and fixed that little par 3 that it seems like they just threw it in there the last minute because there was no more room, where it's against those houses there.
The dog leg?
Yeah, the dog leg, yeah.
With the line shot, yeah.
But it is a fun track, and what a great place. But Tom, as always, man, we always appreciate you carving out some time for us, man. Thank you.
Yeah, it's good being with you guys too. Thanks for having me on.
That's the great Tom Lehman joining us again. If you haven't played the Biltmore,
Got to try that. Not a long
Adobe
time.
course, it's now called the Estates, and the clubhouse is amazing. They opened about 4 months ago and they redid it.
Right,
It's
yeah.
interesting. I would love to sit down and just hear how that whole process goes. Because there's some unbelievable golfers is what they do now. Jack does it obviously, but Tom's got a lot of courses that he's built from scratch and redesigned.
Yeah, Verado is one of the ones who designed up there. Verado. I can see that as very rewarding.
Oh,
very rewarding.
Yeah, financially too.
Yes, that too.
But just to sit back and just be a fly on the wall and find out how that whole process goes, and just says, all right, we're on number 9. It's a par 4. It's 380 yards. This is what we're gonna do to change it. I'm gonna make it like XYZ course in Ohio or whatever.
Here's my thoughts and ideas. Let me take that clay and mold it my way.
Great. What are they gonna say? No. Tom Lehman,
I know.
British Open champion. All right, coming up as we continue from Twin Peaks let's throw boxing announcer needs a want to get away moment, and plus we got a rookie guard on this day that replaced one of the best players ever to play the game. He took him to a title. We'll see if these old farts know who it is. It's Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910.
Clear.
Fogco, the Valley's original manufacturer of high-pressure fog systems, has been cooling their customers for over 35 years. Fogco provides their customers with results that exceed their expectations, with reliable misting and fogging solutions that you can count on all summer long. Head to fogco.com.
I'm attorney Kevin Rowe. I often get asked, how can Lerner & Rowe effectively handle DUI and criminal cases when you guys are a personal injury law firm? The answer is simple. We're good at it. Lerner & Rowe Law Group is a separate law firm from Lerner & Rowe Injury Attorneys. Our criminal defense attorneys have represented thousands of clients across the state. And with our affordable payment plans, you can get the defense you need immediately. If you've been wrongly charged with a crime, time is not on your side. We're available to help you 24/7.
Lerner & Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
If you haven't tried G2G protein bars, today is the day. Find them in your local Costco's refrigerated section or online at g2gbar.com. Incredible taste and packed with protein. They are perfect for your on-the-go lifestyle. Check them out today.
Hey, this is Kelly Cooper. Are you ready for the ultimate sports experience? Look no further than BKD's Backyard Joint. At BKD's, we're not just a sports bar. We're the destination for the best food, drinks, and sports experience in the Valley. Located at the corner of Pecos and McQueen and Chandler, get ready to score big on fun and flavor. Only at BKD's Backyard Joint, where every day is game day. Check us out online at bkdsbackyard.com. That's bkdsbackyard.com.
Imagine it's the middle of summer in Phoenix and you're enjoying a beer on the patio or maybe a family dinner outside. Didn't think it was possible? It is with
Took him to the title. Who was it?
Magic Johnson. What year?
Doesn't matter. You lost. You got to listen.
I hear.
Clean out those ears, Manuch.
I was going to say Allen Iverson. No, he played.
The fact that 44 years ago, Allen Iverson. The fact that Jimmy got it before you.
Yeah,
you're slipping.
Jimmy Quick.
You're
Jimmy
slipping.
Quick.
Jimmy Quick, not Jimmy B.
Jimmy Quick. Jimmy B. Quick once in a while.
Hey, in the spirit of Steve Harvey at the Miss Universe pageant back in, I think it was 2005, and Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway
Yeah.
Oscars. Well, we now have a ring announcer that has made the list of naming the wrong winner of a championship boxing match. It was the WBA Women's championship. It was in Australia. And I'm not even going to begin to tell you who they are because I could care less who they are. But ring announcer, Lieutenant Dan.
Lieutenant Dan. It is Lieutenant Dan. Lieutenant
Hennessy.
Dan. Yep.
Got to have yourself a little Hennessy. Announces the scores and declared this person, Nina Hughes, as the winner. Then a couple moments later, while Nina is celebrating and everybody and the announcers were discussing the decision, the referee once again took his position with the two fighters, and Hennessy announced the scores again, but this time the other boxer, Cherniko Johnson.
That's good. Good job.
Well, it's all printed.
You printed it out.
You did it phonetically? I looked it up, yeah. Because I knew I'd get called on that. This Johnson gal ends up being the champ. So here's how it all went down, thanks to Top Rank Boxing.
Draw. Judge Kingley scores the competition 96-94, and Judge Nakamura scores the competition 98-92 for your winner by majority decision, and still the WBA World Champion.
A lopsided scorecard of 98-92 favors Nina Hughes and pulls a majority decision to go to 7-0 and retain her world championship on a night where Cherniko Johnson seemed like she was in control down the stretch and had a 167-133 connect advantage. And by the way, Nakamura, who had that 98-92 scorecard, will be the referee for Lomachenko.
Kingley scores the competition 96-94. Nakamura 98-92 for your by majority. Fighting on the blue corner. Second speech.
Is this guy for real? Is this guy Lieutenant Dan Hennessy for real?
Want to get away? Now you can with Southwest fares as low as $59 one way.
Lieutenant Dan.
Oh, man. Oh, wow.
That is our dumbass.
Oh, my goodness
I
gracious.
have to confess that I like to watch Lomachenko fight, and he was the featured fight that night for a title. This was the prelim, and I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
I thought it was a female.
Yeah, no, Lomachenko was the next fight.
Oh, the next
fight. Yeah.
Okay.
And this was a prelim to that. I could not believe. And Joe Tessitore, who's calling the fight, just went off. He could not believe that this guy did that.
Sport look bad.
Terrible.
Well, you just want to. I mean, don't they do a check, double check?
You should. I always did.
I mean, from the standpoint of, okay, guys, okay, are we sure? You got 3 or 4 guys that are, the scoring, and then here's the name, and here, let's look at it one more time. I mean, that's inexcusable.
But I've done some ring announcing, and
you have.
Well, I have, and
You've
so
done cockfighting. You've done arm wrestling. What haven't you done?
Female mud wrestling.
I have not done female mud wrestling. I have not done that. So I even have called lacrosse. So here's the
you about to tell a story?
I am.
Okay,
so here's the deal. The
Hold on.
Okay.
So once you hear your
Thank
Mr.
you.
Peabody
There we
music,
go.
you know you're dialed in.
Okay. So when I would do ring announcing on ESPN, by the way, I would always go to the judges. And this was before I met Manuch, long before I met Manuch and his check, double check. I always double checked with each judge, and I would read the score, and I would say, is that correct? He would say, yes. Then I would go to the next judge, read the score. I did that for every fight because I didn't want to be a dumbass like this guy.
Now, Jimmy, I'm going to rate that story 5 out of 10 because it wasn't really a story. It was more embellishment.
Well, it was a fact.
It was ESPN, too.
It was. Yeah.
So that takes us to a Throwback Thursday. And here's Steve Harvey, if you remember, announcing the wrong winner in the 2015 Miss Universe pageant.
There are 2 women left, Colombia and Philippines. One of you is about to become our new Miss Universe. If for any reason she is unable to fulfill her duties, the first runner-up will take her place. Good luck to both of you. Miss Universe 2015 is Colombia.
What do you do? I mean, if you're given the card,
yes,
and that's what it says, allegedly.
Yeah. Your host.
Your host,
Yeah.
because here he is now acknowledging his mistake.
He has to.
And announcing Miss Philippines as the actual winner, not Colombia.
Okay, folks, I have to apologize. The first runner-up is Colombia. Miss Universe 2015 is Philippines. Philippines, take your first walk.
And the thing is, they typically will do the first runner-up,
correct,
and then who's ever left is your winner. He went right to the winner.
Correct. He may have read the card incorrectly, or whoever gave him that card, that could be what it said. Now, I can tell you this. When you're calling games, Manuch, you know this as well, and your stage manager is seated next to you. And when you're doing games on network television, they will pass you a card to read going into the commercial break. If they give you the wrong card, you're the one, because you read that card, who gets all the heat, not the producer.
But but he's been doing that for several years.
He has.
It's always been the first runner-up, and then the
I
winner.
agree.
You'd think he would have caught that. But talk about wanting to get away.
You two guys making that mistake. But not Steve Harvey 15 years ago.
Well, and that's the thing. He was been doing it for several years. So he would have caught. Wait, where's the first runner-up?
Yeah.
He would have said, "Time out, guys. This is the wrong call."
You should have.
But he was so excited.
Yep.
He
let it get away from him.
It's all right. At least he admitted it. Moonwalked it back.
That's all you can do.
Got the right one.
It also happened at the Oscars. A year later, there was an envelope mix-up where Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway were presenting the Best Picture Award to La La Land. It was the 89th Oscars, and it revealed that the actual winning film was Moonlight.
Correct.
How about that?
Yeah. I saw it live.
But they were actually given the wrong envelope.
They were given the wrong envelope.
They were,
yes.
That's the point.
Hey, it is a remarkable story what has happened in downtown Phoenix with Grand Canyon University. For those of you that were born and raised or been here a long time, it's amazing. And they've now taken another step forward, and we are going to catch up. Paul Coro, their color analyst, PR guy, does a little bit of everything as they are moving to the West Coast Conference. This is big news, especially what it's going to mean on a national level. And what's going on at Arizona State, Michael Crow, look what's going on in your backyard. You got to step up. But here is Paul Coro. He's going to join us next. And I believe, he's been there now for what, 10 years?
Oh, easy. Yeah. I mean, remember the Arizona Republic had a lot of layoffs close to 10 years ago. So he's been there for a long time, though. Doing a great job.
He will join us right here at Twin Peaks, Glendale, right here on Fox Sports 910.
We said that I think the Phillies just scored again on the Mets from last night. Mets still are playing, right?
They still have a minor league baseball team.
They have been struggling.
Yeah.
Man, Phillies, best team in baseball.
They're rolling.
They are playing well.
I just can't understand, or not, I can understand, but how people still pitch to Bryce Harper.
Why would you?
I mean, he homered yesterday. He doubled. He drove in 3 runs. He had another single. I mean,
Could he get to Barry Bonds where they just you saw managers walk Bonds with the bases loaded. That happened. So I mean, I'm just curious if Harper could reach that status.
I don't know, man, but he is unbelievable. People in Washington are just saying, "How'd we ever let him go?" I mean, jeez. But anyway, we were hoping to catch up with Paul Coro, talk some GCU with him with the news that they had. It's much better than talking about the NFL schedule.
It's interesting about them going to the WCC that they could outgrow the conference, outgrow the WAC, which I think they have from the basketball side. They win another WAC championship in baseball as well, too. I think they're 4th straight WAC title in baseball. So, you look at this school and, okay, now they're making the next step.
Well, yeah, they got to play Gonzaga
and St. Mary's,
and Santa Clara, USF, San Diego, yeah,
and then rightfully so.
Yeah, I agree.
If you're going to be on the national map day in and day out, that's what you need.
It's going to give them more television exposure.
Yep.
It's going to save them money in travel because the travel costs, there's less travel time for the student athletes, so that helps. It really fits their geographic footprint. I think it's really it's a great move on their part, and just to see how that they've done over the years. GCU is, really kind of had a lot of success. I saw that they have won 67 conference championships, including 38 in the last 4 years.
Wow!
At the Division I level.
Yeah, and that's
huge.
That's amazing. And then on top of that, just think of you look at the recruiting side of this too, that these young men know that, hey, now, starting next year, you're going to be in the WCC. Some of the non-conference schedules you're going to play. You're going to play with, and those teams you're going to play against is going to help that as well too. And not to demean the WAC, but the WAC is
well, it's not the same as the West Coast Conference.
And
but let's be honest, guys, is the West Coast Conference really that year?
Well,
I mean, from
Gonzaga put them on the map in basketball.
Yeah, and I think
still got another conference to go.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I mean, could you if the Pac-12 were still alive, would they ever be absorbed in the Pac-12? Probably not. But if they had,
why not? That would make the most sense.
But I don't know if there's a major like the Power 5 would absorb something like that. Unless I think football would be a trigger point. They don't have football. Probably never have.
Well, that's Gonzaga. You'll remember this. Wanted to move to the Big 12.
Yes,
they had lots of conversations, and they went down a pretty far road, and then they stopped because the Big 12 and the other presidents said no, they do not play football.
Well, and the thing was, where were they going to get the extra revenue if they didn't play football?
Correct.
I don't know how the Pac-12, whatever's left of it, have not gone to the WCC and said, let's make this happen, because the WCC has a multi-year media rights deal with ESPN and the CBS Sports Network. So it would make sense. It would totally make sense for them to jump on board, because right now, for most games for Lopes, unless you're watching it locally, is on ESPN Plus, which a lot of people don't have.
I agree with you. Now, I will tell you this, is that Oregon State and Washington State, the two teams that are in the Pac-2, got an awful lot of money. They got the television money from the Pac-12, and the other schools who left did not get that money. So financially, Washington State and Oregon State are doing fine. My guess is, Rock, that not this year, but they will be in lots of conversations to see if they can rework and make the Pac-12 viable again in some form.
That's going to be one of those scenarios that you just kind of go, okay, how are they going to make that happen?
Right.
But there's just not enough team.
Let's catch up. Paul Cora joining us now. As we mentioned, their athletic program has taken another step forward. The invitation to the West Coast Conference, which will begin 25-26,
And Paul Cora joins us now to tell us what this means for GCU. Paul, right out of the gate, what does this mean for the Lopes and the fan base and the school?
Yeah, just greater exposure obviously is one of the biggest things, and a chance in many of the sports to be in a multi-bid conference. Men's basketball obviously becomes a major focus, and WCC regularly has multi-bid years, and then there's going to be a year when the Lopes join when Washington State and Oregon State are in this 2-year window where they're part of the WCC too. So now you're talking about a 13-member conference that could be really loaded basketball-wise. Just great reputation, obviously, but you get, with the Gonzagas and the St. Mary's and just the name brands up and down the coast, and you have a footprint on the West Coast now that's a little bit tighter, which is good for student athletes, but also great for exposure and those recruiting areas. So many trips to California, which is a major recruiting area, and the television contract where you have, several ESPN and CBS Sports Network games throughout the year.
Well, I think also, Paul, when you look at this, you kind of go, okay, the non-con, what you guys are there, the non-conference schedules you'll have, the looking at the RPI, when you look at the NCAA tournament, if you guys have got 1 or 2, maybe 3 losses, that's going to be a benefactor as far as seeding is concerned. That I look at the long haul from that, how much of a benefactor that will be.
Yeah, I think it changes the ability to schedule well, and in several sports, but obviously it's a focus on basketball. And, everybody, when it comes to scheduling, they're concerned with net because that's what the selection committee is going to look at for their at-large teams. And, GCU's had a great net because it had a 30-win season. And, that's going to be obviously harder to duplicate the greater you make your schedule. But if their conference level is at a higher level with the games they're playing and the ranking of those teams, now they're going to attract non-conference opponents at a higher level because they know the strength of GCU and its schedule and its net to keep other teams' net afloat.
Paul Coro is our guest on the Right Toyota guest line. Paul, I'm real curious now, how will that help then in recruiting as far as moving to that conference? And also, since you are going to be matched up against the Gonzagas, the St. Mary's, the USFs, the Santa Clara, etc., what will that be like when you begin with home games in your building?
Oh, yeah. The great thing about GCU is no matter the opponent, it's a sellout every game. Mm-hmm. So all it's going to do for those games is raise the specter of the games even more, the anticipation. Bryce Drew even referred to a college game day maybe coming the first time Gonzaga visits GCU. This is going to be the, outstanding of Washington State and Oregon State being in there for that year.
Yep.
It's going to be the largest venue in the conference. Seattle U plays some of its games at Climate Pledge Arena, but other games on campus in a smaller venue. So it's just the WCC is excited about just the shot of fan energy that GCU's following brings to the conference for environment for those teams to come in and what they want to show outwardly as a conference, and also for the WCC tournament. And typically WCC has pretty much been a Gonzaga fan dominated event and just a sprinkling of fans from some of the other schools. But the way Lope Nation travels to Las Vegas for WAC tournaments has been proven, and it's only going to rise up even more for the WCC tournament, and that'll create a wild environment when they see Gonzaga there.
Paul, did the WCC seek you guys, or did you seek them?
Yeah, Stu Jackson, the commissioner of the WCC, familiar name, right? Especially a little cringy for Suns fans if they think back to the suspension off the Suns bench. But he moved to the league office for several years and worked in the Big East as an assistant commissioner for basketball, one of the best conferences. And there's been some comparisons about creating a Big East type conference with the WCC on the West Coast. And he said that they started out with dozens of schools a year ago when he came aboard, and they whittled that down to 3 or 4, and Grand Canyon was one of them. And so ultimately, with the footprint they wanted to have, faith-based schools on the West Coast, Seattle U, and GCU became the best fit.
Paul, thanks for jumping on with us. This is great news for the university and as well for you, and we appreciate you carving out some time for us. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. A lot of credit goes to a lot of people on campus that got it to this point.
It's Paul Coro, GCU color analyst, as GCU heading to the WCC with the likes of Gonzaga, Pepperdine, Santa Clara, some really good basketball schools, that's for sure. And I saw that it is 14 of the 21 GCU sports that will make their new home there in the WCC. So good for them. See what the next step would be. It would be pretty cool if the Pac-12 then takes over that conference.
Yes.
And then, ironically, you see GCU is in the Pac-12
Hey, GCU
or Pac-10 or whatever
it's going to be called. Yeah.
Timing
is right. Yeah, it is. That's why you make that move. It's a great move.
Yeah, absolutely. Coming up, we need a contestant right now to challenge the beautiful Twin Peaks girls from our Glendale location. We'll take the fifth caller at 602-260-9191, 602-260-9191. Here are the games that you need to let Shu know that you like. Nuggets at Timberwolves tonight. Knicks at Pacers tomorrow. And Saturday's game between the Thunder and Mavs. You'll pick up those, or you'll select those, and you will play against Danny here at Twin Peaks. So get it on board. Fifth caller, 602-260-9191. And if we have time, yep, stupid dad jokes.
Can't wait.
Coming up here from Twin Peaks in Glendale. It's Fox Sports 910.
Clear.
Homeowner just like
29-degree man-sized drafts. Twin Peaks, the best views in the game. Open in Scottsdale, Phoenix, Tempe, Glendale, and Deer Valley.
You're hot. Kick off your weekend here at Twin Peaks. You just heard 5 Valley locations today. We are at the Glendale location. Great for all your NBA playoff watching and NHL playoffs, Stanley Cup playoffs. All right, we got 3 games this week. Nuggets at Timberwolves, Knicks at Pacers, Thunder at Mavs. And it's Gerald from Peoria is going to be is our contestant. It's going to go up against Danny. And once again, a very shy Jax.
I've known her for a while. So
why wouldn't you put her headset in? Why is she
not here?
So busy.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. Yeah, nice excuse.
It'd be nice if we get rid of Jimmy for a second.
I don't blame you.
He would embarrass us to the young lady. All right, first one was Nuggets at Timberwolves. What is Gerald going with their shoe?
And the Timberwolves.
Jax?
She's going with the Nuggets.
Okay.
All right, second one, the Knicks, the Pacers. That's tomorrow night. Which way is Danny going?
Danny's going with the Knicks.
All right, Shu?
Gerald also going with the Knicks.
All right.
All right, and then the Thunder at the Mavericks. It is Saturday. What do we got there for Danny?
Thunder.
And Shu, what do we got then for Gerald?
Gerald's taking the Mavericks.
All right, there you have it. So hopefully Gerald from Peoria will get them all right. You know, he will get himself a $25 Twin Peaks man card. Jimmy, could you do that read again with Thunder at Mavericks on Saturday the way you did it? And this time I want you to do your best impersonation of Marv Albert. Because I think
Sweet
you
Marv
sound just like him.
You do, really?
I do. When you just did that, that's why I'm bringing it up.
Oh, okay. Let's see how I could do Marv Albert. Just
read it.
Just read it? Okay. Saturday night, it is the Thunder at the Mavericks, and Danny is taking the Thunder, and our caller, Gerald, has the Mavericks.
He does have a little Marv in him, doesn't he?
Totally got some Marv Albert in
So
him.
now we know where he copied when he was preparing all these years.
No, he's been around longer than Marv.
Well,
I think
just
Marv
as long. Pretty much.
Probably looked at Jimmy and said, "I want to be the next Jimmy B."
Actually, Marv and I one time.
No, okay.
Why did I bring it
Yeah,
up?
Marv Albert. Oh, be careful now. Family show.
Marv Albert
So, family show, Jimmy.
So I'm at Madison Square Garden in New York, and I'm doing the NBA game, and Marv had been the voice of the New York Knicks forever. So prior to the game, we're in the press room, and we're having dinner, and Marv comes over and sits down, and I'm sitting there, and we're talking about – I always talk to the other play-by-play guys about their team, so I have a real good understanding what they're going to try to do in the upcoming game. And so it's funny that you said that I sounded similar to Marv. This is what jogged my memory on this story.
Yeah, land the plane.
Please. Okay, all right.
We got a commercial.
So Marv and I are talking, and the guy sitting at the other table turned around and said, "You guys sound alike." And we looked at each other. We do? We didn't register to us. And that just jogged my memory that happened.
You guys both went to voiceover school, right? They
Probably.
have those deep pipes that you have.
Yeah.
Great. That's 2 minutes of my life I'm never going to
Yeah. Hey, Shu, you being a New Yorker, you probably just wish you could have met Marv Albert.
No, I'll pass on meeting Marv.
Okay.
All right, Shu, let's do it.
Time for Roc's really bad dad joke of the day. I mean, really bad. Like, really bad. Here's Roc.
All right, I got 5 for you, degenerate.
Throw it out there. Throw them out there.
Let's go.
And anyone can use these at home. If sitting around the dinner table with your kids, you're a parent and you want to have some fun. All right, first one is, what is the moon the heaviest? What is the moon the heaviest?
I give up, Roc.
Moon over Miami. I don't know.
When it's full.
Oh, I see.
Not bad, huh?
That's pretty good.
That's good.
Yeah.
So, I know you're a big cat person, but did
Got Maddie. Love Maddie, our cat. Black cat.
Do you know, I saw this in the news, do you know what happened to the cat that ate that ball of yarn?
Oh, I don't know.
She had mittens.
Oh,
man.
I'll give that one to Lori tonight. She'll look at me and like, what?
Why did the computer get cold?
Oh, it was unplugged.
Because it left its windows open.
Oh, very good.
Oh,
yes,
come
thank
on.
you, Shu. Thank
I
you,
thought that
Shu.
was a
That was
good
pretty
one.
good one there, Shu.
I like that. That's good for
Windows open. Okay.
How do you get a farm girl to marry you? How do you get
Remember, this is a family
farm
show.
girl to marry you?
I could say a few things,
I
but
don't know.
we'll get knocked off the air.
I give up, Rock.
First, attract her.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, yes, I got
Very
one.
good. That's good. I like that.
So milking the cow and grabbing the udders wouldn't work.
No.
Okay.
No. All right,
Just
last
checking.
one. So earlier this week, I was off. So a buddy of mine, I'm in his third wedding. So I had to go to the third wedding. So I had to go to tuxedo store. Okay. So the owner.
Oh, I thought that was the joke.
No.
Sorry, my bad.
Wow.
So the owner of the store kept hovering around me, right? He
Okay.
was kind of a pain in the ass.
Sure.
I'm like doing
Yeah.
my thing. And so I said politely, can you just please leave me alone?
Yeah.
And he comes back and he goes, suit yourself.
Oh. I like that one. Poor guy, third marriage.
You like the farm girl one.
I like the farm
Yeah.
girl one. I had some lines there.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there you have it. There's your stupid dad jokes that I regretfully
No,
have to do
no,
every
no,
day.
They were good, Rock. No,
Do you think they just come to me? I mean, this takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
I prep more of this than anything else. It really is.
Yeah, he does.
Forever. I literally have to send myself notes during the week of ones that I hear that I'm like, well, maybe that'll work.
Deployment radio, folks. I'm telling you, every
So do
Thursday.
you tell those jokes as well when
Never.
you're at arena?
Never.
I kind of thought you might, so just to get the reaction.
I'll
No.
use them once in a while, Laura, when I get home. Yeah, like the cat
Well,
joke.
you're
I'll do that.
cheesy, so
Yeah, I am.
She'll probably laugh at it.
She
too.
does. She goes, you make me smile. That's why she's still hanging around with me, I think. One way
So
or
let
the
me see how good you were paying attention. So what is that joke you're going to use?
other. What do you call the cat that eats a ball of yarn?
She did.
She'll have
remember.
mittens.
Do you know what happened
To a cat.
to the cat
Yeah, when it ate
that
the ball of
ate the
yarn.
ball of yarn?
Yeah. And
See,
mittens.
this is gonna make you look. This is gonna make you look bad, Rocky. Because if Manuch goes home and doesn't deliver the joke properly,
Yeah.
and Lori thinks that it came from you, makes you look bad.
No,
I don't want the credit.
I'll rehearse it one more time.
You'll
I'll
rehearse it?
Yeah. The farm girl one, yeah. What's the first thing you have to do?
Tractor.
A tractor.
Yeah.
Bring
That's
a
the
tractor.
best one.
That's a good one. I like that one.
Manuch, you can't say, "Hey, you got a nice set of udders."
Define others here, Jimmy.
That's what's on the cow.
Oh, we get it, Jimmy. We
I
get
was just checking you.
Did you grow up on a farm?
Did the Boy Scout farm.
Whoa.
Rode horses.
By the way,
everything.
we didn't get into that last week.
What?
This whole Boy Scouts merging with the Girl Scouts thing.
Oh,
What do they call
what
it?
the hell is that?
The Scouts
The
of America?
Yeah.
now?
Yeah,
How
Scouts
can
of
you just-
America.
Boy Scouts just go away.
Yeah, I don't know.
So many
Two.
of us were Weeblos
Yeah.
and Boy Scouts.
I was Order of the Arrow.
Yeah, but now
Order of the Arrow. Yeah, you got a sash. Yeah.
At least
there's no Boy Scouts anymore.
Wow.
So my understanding, I don't understand why Girl Scouts it's just a high level.
They sell
now,
cookies.
yeah. So now you're gonna have kids, Boy Scouts, coming over and say, "Hey, you want to buy
Buy your
some
cookie.
cookies?"
You have the Eagle Scouts, the Boy Scouts, Eagle Scout, Weeblos, Boy Scouts,
Yeah.
Eagle Scouts. Man, there's a lot of stuff you had to do to get
I
that
got
Eagle
I
Scout.
got the a star. I never made it to Eagle because I got too busy playing sports then. So
Yeah, that
So
gets in
now
the way.
it's been rebranded.
oh no.
Yeah.
Scouting America.
Yeah. It's
God, our world is just
with
changing.
all the pedophilia and this and that, and can we just keep it to Boy Scouts?
Yeah.
I mean, is there anything not sacred anymore?
No, that's
I mean,
why it's
give it
such a big
The
deal. to
boys
me.
just have their own thing,
Yeah, can't we just have our own locker room?
and just vet the sponsors a little bit better. I mean, if you can, from that standpoint.
And the girl, ladies' tea. I don't care what they say.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
I'm not going for tees.
I'm not doing that
I'm
either.
not doing that.
I'm not doing that either.
that was the beginning right there. Well, you can't call them ladies' tees anymore. Why? So the ladies play for. We call them the forward tees. But the ladies playing them, yes. But why aren't the ladies' tees? Well, because the ladies got upset. You call them a ladies' tee?
Yeah.
Well, they're not ladies. No, they are ladies, but we got to call them a forward tee. I always like to know where the point of origin is when something like that started. When did that start?
I have no clue. Not with me.
Hey, we got a PGA update.
20.
Our tacos sandwiches. Our tacos sandwiches. A judge has ruled on it.
Oh, boy.
Howard Balzer as well. And we're going
10.
to talk about the new athletic director at Arizona State. That's all coming up in hour number 3.
Clear.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B has been sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing. Calling all sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Proudly sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing and is powered by the injury attorneys Lerner and Rowe. In a wreck and need a check? Make one call. That's all. 602-977-1900 and always online at lernerandrowe.com. Now time for Calling All Sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on Fox
You're hot.
910.
Xander Schauffele sets a tournament record with a 62 today in the first round of the PGA Championship in Louisville, but Tony Finau and others aren't far behind. Welcome in hour number 3. Roc, Manuch, Jimmy B, Jax, and Shu with you here from Twin Peaks in Glendale. As this hour, we'll talk some Cardinals as Howard Balzer will join us. We'll get his thoughts on the NFL schedule. We'll have him break down every game.
Not every game.
We'll
Not
have
every
him
game.
give us his prediction per quarter. So we'll go first quarter, which is September, second quarter, which is October, and so forth. So we'll break it down there and have all of us predict how many wins and which games they're going to win and which games they're going to lose. We'll even throw out scores too. We'll give you a prediction of what the score will be in those games.
Can we throw out some stats as well,
Yeah,
too?
well, that's what scores would be.
No score, but you get stats. You know, Murray was 15 for 20, 225 yards, three touchdowns. We had 2 interceptions that cost them the game in the fourth quarter. Those are stats.
I got to tell you, I got to get back on the air on Tuesdays and Wednesdays because you guys are losing it. Both you guys.
Why is that?
That wasn't funny at all.
I'm just saying what the stats
You're
are.
trying to, you're as bad as Jimmy.
I
is.
wouldn't be a stat.
Hey,
Just
don't
say you're
include me.
stats.
Trying to
Don't
be funny.
include me
Oh
in
no,
that.
you're the leader of the pack.
Yeah, I'm just telling you. You said stats. Those are not stats. A record's not is a stat. Your stats we're talking about the rushing yardage, all about it.
It's kind of dumb.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, okay, I'm
really,
just telling.
really didn't help this story. It didn't help the.
Well, then finish
the
your
lead.
story.
No,
Finish.
that's all I got. I mean, that's all I have to say. Is Schauffele is the leader in the house in the clubhouse at 62, which is a tournament record.
Well,
He played well last week at Wells Fargo.
Well, he really scuffled at the end. But 3 bogeys on that final 9 holes. They were tied, he and Rory,
right,
after 9, and then he really suffered with 3 bogeys on that backside. But
Rory went off.
And Rory went off, yeah. But I mean, you double bogey that last hole. He could have been, it might have gone into extra holes, whatever. But he's clearly playing phenomenal. Could have shot a 61, missed that last putt by about 2 inches. But he's hot. And Roy is hot as well, too. They're all right there in the hunt. Big scores for the very first round of the PGA.
So last Saturday, I'm at the Wells Fargo, which is in Charlotte at Quail Hollow, and I was there with my dad. My mom went back for Mother's Day and all that good stuff. And, we get there, my dad and myself. My dad had just had neck surgery, so he was wearing a neck collar, which was a few weeks ago. And, he's recovering, and he's wearing his PGA shirt and all that, whatever. So we get out there and we're, hanging out first couple holes. And then I saw some friends of mine and I took off for a little while. So I was gone for a couple hours. And then I run into my mom on one of the holes and she comes up to me and I go, "Where's Dad at?" And she's like, "I haven't seen him in an hour." And my mom's one who walks the course. She likes to walk the course, right?
Yeah.
My dad likes to sit put on number 15 and we go to the tournament every year. Right?
Okay.
So next year, it's where they're having the PGA
They are,
Championship.
yep.
It's a great course. So we were like, okay. And my mom's like, I said, "Mom, did you text him? It's called." She goes, "Well, my phone died." And I'm like, "Oh, bummer. All right." So I start texting him.
Mm-hmm.
So this goes on for about 3 hours.
Whoa.
No response.
Dad, where you at?
Yeah. So you get to the point there as, he's 80.
Sure.
And my mom and I are like, all right, we went on 15, looked all over for him, couldn't find him. So we go to the front where you walk in where the trophy is. It's only one way in, one way out. I will tell you, I don't think there's a better golf tournament that I've been to that does it better than Quail Hollow. I mean, I even say the Masters.
Yeah,
I mean, the way
I'm
they
with
put
you.
this tournament on, how you get in and out, transportation, never lines. It's just an awesome tournament. So we get out to the front, and it's been about 3.5 hours at this point. Emailing him on his phone, texting him, calling him, other people. I call him my sister, calling friends. So I get to the point where we're sitting there waiting, and I got to the point where, all right, a little anxiety, as you can imagine. So I went to the med tent. So I go to the medical tent, and I said, hey, by any chance, have you, how many of these bed tents do you have? And they said, well, we have 4, and they were great. People were great. It was Atrium Health Systems. And I said to them, can you call the other 3 to see if you found a guy that's got a neck brace on? You don't see a lot of those guys, right? So they call, and they're like, no. Nowhere to be found.
So you're really nervous
now. So now I'm losing my what. And I'm like, I don't know anybody out there, right? So I'm like, yeah. I said, and they weren't busy because the weather was absolutely perfect. It wasn't like Phoenix Open where you got drunks and people passing out because of heat or what have you. Yeah. So they had some time. So there were like 6 people come out, and they're kind of walking around trying to help and all that. So then we called the police. So we had to get the guys on the bikes. And sure enough, within like 20 minutes, they found him, and they found him on hole number 15, just hanging out. And they bring him back in a golf cart to the front, right? So I'm like, and at this point now I'm pissed.
Sure.
Yeah. I went from worrying because they were going to start looking in porta potties.
Right.
They were going to start looking for him, right?
Yep.
Because the tournament was over at this point. People were all leaving.
Yep.
So I'm mad as hell.
Man.
I'm like, really? Like, Dad, why won't you go? So he opens up his phone.
Right.
Not one text message, not one call. So his phone did not receive anything.
Wow.
So I'm like, Dad, well, after like 3-4 hours of not knowing where your wife is and where your son is, wouldn't you because you have the keys to the car, why wouldn't you pick up the phone and try to call me? Well, you knew where we were. You knew where I was. I was at 15. I go, no, we looked everywhere on 15. You weren't there. So it was funny. I said, so how did they find you? And I get, Dad, how did they find you? Like, well, this cop came up to him and said, is your name Paul Morocco? And he goes, yeah. He goes, there's some people looking for you. So that's when they got him. And so now I ordered a tag, an air tag. So I'm putting an air tag on him because this is crazy. I'm not going to experience that again.
Why was
I'll go back next year to the PGA with him.
I was going to say, did you look at Lost and Found for crying out loud?
Yeah.
I mean, think
Why would I
about
go
that.
Lost and Found?
I'm just kidding. I mean, you think about that. I mean, a tag on his phone.
No, you know what the tags are? The tag's a little. I mean, Jack knows what it is. It's something that you give your kids to put in your book in their backpack, or some people want your keys. Your wife probably has one in your car. You don't even know.
You don't even know it.
So I mean, these air tags, and they're cheap. They're not a lot, but all of a sudden, if you know where the air tag is, it can tell you. Like when you lose your phone, my phone. You lose your phone.
Yeah, right.
It's the same kind of thing.
Oh,
so
man.
he's getting one of these. Go put it around his neck.
Put it on his neck brace.
Yeah, it's his damn neck brace. So that was my experience at Quail Hollow last week. He needed to go. He needed G2G protein bar.
He did. He was just fine.
Oh, he was just hanging out. Excited he got a ride from 15 to the front.
I didn't have to walk.
In a big golf. I was so mad. I'm so mad about it.
He's gonna go, man. I should do this every tournament. I'll get a ride back to the
He
front.
goes, nobody called me. No one's been after me. And he goes, I check my phone every 5-10 minutes, and nobody was calling.
Never received a signal.
So then when we get out of there, it's in an unbelievable area. Like it's like a desert mountain. It's just gorgeous.
Yes.
Then we get out, and I said, Dad, just turn your phone off and turn it back on. And sure enough, there is a 25 text messages, missed calls, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
I said, that's what you get for having an Android.
But
I wouldn't have to worry about that.
Think about that.
He just got Wi-Fi in the last year.
Are you serious?
Oh, he's been doing dial-up forever. His old timers like you guys. Like, you don't have Netflix. Well, you don't have Netflix. At least my dad has Netflix. And he's the same age as you are.
Are you paying for it?
I would. Well, I mean,
he offered that for a Christmas present yesterday.
He
Jimmy.
did. Yeah, Shu says that you offered that up.
I
for
did.
We've been offering to try to get Jimmy a regular phone, and just get you'll get a brand new.
My phone works.
You'll get a brand new. No more tablets, Jimmy. Just get a brand new laptop and get that back. You get everything.
I got everything on
I've already given him a laptop.
I haven't even gone to the iPad today. I'm getting much more comfortable putting everything up on this.
So glad that you
5 years later.
Yeah. That's what I strive for, comfortability.
He's just gonna. So now when he comes to Phoenix Open, you're gonna have him tag him. You just make
Oh,
that
I'm
bad boy
totally
tag
saying
it.
it. Yeah. Well, it would be different if I didn't go with him, because I wouldn't know what's going on.
You're like quasi-responsible. Where you at, Dad?
Yeah, I'm really not, but yeah, I mean,
You are now.
But when they started talking about, hey, we'll start looking at the porta potties, and you're losing your, because they're asking all these questions like, does he have dementia? I go, no, my radio partner does. But I said, no. I said, no, he's good.
I'm not
he
there
plays
yet.
golf 4 days a week. He's fine.
He's fine. Yeah.
But what an eye opener!
Well, hey,
especially in a golf tournament that has thousands of people.
Yeah, that's gotta be
over
scary.
acres.
How
and
did
acres.
you not find him if he was at 15? How did people not find him?
Was he under a tree somewhere?
Yeah.
Just kind of hidden.
Was he hiding out? Was he
No, he had a chair and everything. I don't know. I mean, he may have gone to the restroom when we walked there.
Yeah, he
when we
could've.
were,
Yeah.
looking for him.
Yeah.
So, anyway, that's my story of the week.
That's anxiousness times 10 when that kind of stuff happens.
Oh, and my mom was,
freaking out.
because he's off the meds from the surgery, but you never know. The first thing he has done since the surgery.
Okay.
With the neck,
And he's just happy to be out there.
Yeah. Oh, he was chill. He's like, he came back. He's like, what's wrong? I'm like, let me see your phone, Dad. You can't get mad at parent. I want that inheritance. I gotta be nice.
Yeah, especially when he had no clue. He thought the phone was working just
he
fine.
had no idea.
Yeah.
Hey, bet the game, watch the game. Sportsbook at Casino Arizona. They got 3 live betting windows, 6 self-service betting kiosks, plus 8 screens that display all the betting lines. Yep, all the betting lines. Check it out for yourself. That's 101 and McKellips. Well, it is Thursday. We are live from Twin Peaks in Glendale. We're always at a different one. There's 5 of them, and you can always take advantage of the 29-degree man-sized draft as happy hour has just started. Coming up, a little bit more sports bar gossip. Our taco sandwiches, because a judge has ruled on it, and a man pleads guilty to stealing millions and millions of dollars of Masters tournament memorabilia. And if we have some time, a little bit more on ASU's AD hiring. It's Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910.
Valley traffic from the Valley Toyota Dealers Traffic Center.
Problems west of the valley. A crash has closed eastbound 10 from 339th Avenue over to Palo Verde Road. Yeah, 10 eastbound closed west of the valley, 339th Ave over to Palo Verde. And a wreck with entries on McClintock, north of Guadalupe.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. At Lowe's, save big when you buy in bulk. Save 10% on your choice of any 6 or more interior 6-panel pre-hung slab or bifold doors. Selection varies by location while supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch? Every day, from lunch to late night. Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Arizona's headquarters for Toyotas is Wright Toyota. Hey, Rock, for
Peaks in Glendale, and a little sports bar gossip. But we're going to talk some Cardinal football with Howard Balzer here in just a little bit. But I saw this story. We always have these discussions, and they're totally meaningless, but that's what we do.
And we're good at
stupid
it.
stuff, and this is one of them. And it's a question that we finally have an answer to. Are tacos sandwiches? A judge in Indiana just ruled on it this week.
Can't be serious.
So there's a guy that has been trying to open a taco place in a strip mall in Fort Wayne, Indiana. But he ran into some red tape thanks to a contract that limits the type of restaurants allowed. Now, you've heard certain places, most places, even here in Arizona, there's a town center. You can only have one pizza place, one Mexican place, things like that.
Exclusivity.
So this one said that you could only. So it says that you could only open a place that sells made-to-order or Subway-style sandwiches.
Mm-hmm.
So the guy said no. So he sued, claiming that tacos and burritos are sandwiches. Now, the reason why there's contracts like this, they're trying to prevent the big fast food chains from kind of moving in, right?
Yep.
So his case has been making its way through the legal system and Superior Court judge, who then ruled on Monday that, drumroll please, yes, they are sandwiches.
Wow.
So I'd like the court, the judge, to define why call it a sandwich. I mean,
He is saying, or she is saying, that tacos and burritos are basically just Mexican-style sandwiches.
Okay. Well, they are wrapped. I agree. They are wrapped. Yeah, they're wrapped in a taco shell. If you get the soft shell,
It's like a hot dog sandwich.
It's a wrap.
A hot dog is a sandwich.
Okay, well, but it's usually
you have a hot dog sandwich.
So it's either a bread,
in the bread?
bread or a bun. Okay.
Okay.
A taco is either a soft taco tortilla or a hard taco corn
shell. Yeah.
Corn shell, whatever like that. So I don't understand her rationale or the judge's rationale whatsoever.
But you get a hot dog at the game. Is that a sandwich?
No.
You just said bun.
Yeah, but I call it a hot bun. I call it a sandwich. A sandwich to me is 2 pieces of bread.
Okay, well, that's essentially what a bun is for a burger.
It's a hot dog called a hot dog. I'll call it as a sandwich.
But it is a sandwich.
Well, they may say technically, but I don't agree with it. But that is that's like, what? The basis, okay, Judge, put the argument out there what the hell that is. He's doing everything he can, and then the people at the mall or the retail store go, wait a second. So they can always appeal it.
They can.
They can always appeal it because they don't want him in there because they already got somebody in there.
A former long-time employee of Augusta National Golf Club pleaded guilty in federal court yesterday for stealing millions of dollars worth of Masters golf tournament merchandise and memorabilia and then selling it to an online broker. This guy had been working in the warehouse at Augusta from 2009 to 2022. He would steal the shirts, the hats, the flags, the watches, even had some green jackets that he had gotten, some documents that were written and signed by Bobby Jones, some really high-end stuff. So the U.S. District Court in Chicago said that he's getting nailed on federal charge of transporting and transferring stolen goods in interstate commerce. So he faces 10 years in prison, federal prison. So I guess the stolen items, which were sold to this online broker in Florida, were worth about $5.6 million.
Oh, yeah, I could see
that. That's the feds get involved in the RICO statutes.
Yeah, they're going to get you.
Across state lines. Yeah, going back. What is he? I mean, do you think he actually think he'd get away with it after some point in time? Somebody's not going to see something that works for the Masters and go, wait a second. We never authorized that sale. We never authorized that.
Yeah, but Manuch, we all know, most of us do, that you can only buy Masters stuff at the Masters, right?
Yep.
So who would stop me from buying a couple $1,000s worth of merchandise, bring it home, and putting it on eBay? the same thing. So I could see how he got away with it for so long.
But I think there'd be a paper trail if someone were to question you. They'd go back and say, okay, yeah, he
Just
paid
not, what I'm doing is not wrong.
No,
it's not illegal.
I know, but at least it's not illegal. But he never bought those there. He stole those. And for you, you'd have, okay, if you went online, want to sell your whatever, you've got at least, if the Masters people said, well, this Mike Morocco guy, what's he doing? You could prove, hey, I bought him. You know, if they question, you can say, here's my receipts, or here's my.
I don't think the Augusta National is going to be, on eBay emailing people and saying you're selling that green 2026 or 2024 Masters shirt.
But if there's coming to the warehouse and they've got numbers or they're accounted for a lot of stuff, and all of a sudden it's missing, they start to add up and look back. I don't
know, man. You've never worked in a team shop. I have. There's not that much policing of the inventory as you think, especially if it's being stolen. Because who's to say it's not just him? There's probably a lot of stuff that gets stolen. Oh, a guy takes a shirt here, takes a hat here. They make so much money on the merchandise. I don't think they're going to miss out on some stuff.
I'd be curious to see what tipped off the feds to what's going on.
I think it had to be this document that was written and signed by Bobby Jones.
I would think that would
be big. Yes. When it comes to the hats and the shirts and all that, that's not a big deal.
Right.
I mean, anybody could go buy them if you get to the Masters.
And then if he did sell, Uncle Sam wants their fair share of taxes on that money as well, too. I mean, that's just going across the state lines, and you're making millions and millions without paying taxes on it or anything like that as a legitimate business was not legitimate business. So I just curious to see all of a sudden somebody's going, wait a second, whether it's the Bobby Jones thing or these are going out more so, and somebody maybe that worked for the Masters or just happened to come across and said, did you guys realize there's all this inventory going to here and here? And did this person purchase this there? But they can always track it. I mean, there's paper trails one way or the other.
I don't think there is, Manuch. I don't think there's any paper trail.
Well, they're not from this case because he stole them. Yeah. There's no paper trails.
Hey, daily digit today is 3. That's the number of MLS teams with payrolls that exceed Messi's 20.4 million. Toronto is 34.4, and the Fire is 25.1, and Nashville is 21.4. How about that?
Have you watched any highlights of Messi when he's on the field by chance?
I don't like kind of channel surf to find it, but if it pops up, I want to see what's going on.
He's absolutely amazing. Well, and even in his later stage of his career, he's just phenomenal.
And if you watch Beckham on Netflix,
yes,
that four episodes was phenomenal.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, and then because he was a big part of getting Messi to Miami,
he was
just when,
big time.
Just when Posh thought they were settled. Beckham goes to Miami as an exec and brings him in. That Beckham scenario, that 4-parter was phenomenal.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it too. I'm not a big soccer fan, but I thought that was great.
But I mean, just as a 15-year-old kid to go to MLS and just to see all the rise of him and then him getting traded and moving away, just the business side of the guy's making multi-million dollars. The thing that you look at is the business side of Beckham and how the multi-million, he's got to be close to being a billionaire by now.
I agree.
But his connection, you bring up Messi with that Miami team, and then setting that whole thing. It was just intriguing to watch that whole thing.
Hey, Matt Ishbia, of course, the owner of the Suns, made some news today as his company, United Wholesale Mortgage, which goes by UWM, has signed a multi-year sponsorship deal with the NBA and WNBA. It is a consumer-facing brand, is what they're trying to do, called the Mortgage Matchup. So they are now the official mortgage partner of both leagues.
Why does that not surprise you?
It doesn't at all. It's just, Forbes has him worth $10.6 billion.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
He bought both franchises for $4 billion. Projected to have the highest payroll next year at $206 million.
That's why they're stuck. That's why they're going to struggle to try to improve this team, meaning the Suns. And I'm just hoping that with that pick that they have in the first round, where is it, like 21, 22? Someplace like right in there. 22, yeah. I mean, I hope they get a player. This is not a strong draft.
Well, it'd be a player that may not be ready to play.
That's correct.
And so the pressure tomorrow at 12:30, where Budenholzer will be introduced. It'd be interesting to hear his thoughts or his strategies because of that. Not that they're going to bring that up, but just, okay, here's what we have to work with and deal with. Because, I think they're wrapping up the combine in Chicago today.
Right.
For the incoming rookie. So, yeah, and it's, okay, here you go, Mike Budenholzer. Good luck. Go make this happen. Hey, everybody happy.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe. Interact, need a check, make one call. That's all. 602-977-1900 and always at lernerandrowe.com. They can help get a free consultation. Again, one call. That's all. 602-977-1900. I'm going to sit out this next segment because Howard Balzer is going to join us, and he is going to break down the Cardinals.
Can I sit out
I
too?
could care less about. That is next. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B from Twin Peaks, Glendale. Clear.
Behold. Here's what's trending on Fox Sports 910 Phoenix.
Suns will introduce new coach Mike Budenholzer in tomorrow's press conference. Reports say ASU and GCU men's hoops will tip off for a game at the Footprint Center next season. No date as of yet. The Cardinal season begins in Buffalo against the Bills on September 8th, while their home opener is the following week against the Rams. Phase 3 of the team's OTAs start Monday. The Diamondbacks are off. They're 2 below 500. Heading into tomorrow's series opener with the Tigers, Ryan Nelson is projected to start on the mound, while the Snakes will get a look at early AL Cy Young candidate Tarek Skubal. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
This is the Parker and Sons Weather Center. For all your
For network
Rock on headset.
Visit straighttalk.com.
Rock, you've got a compadre. Howard also just as big of a fan of the schedule.
Taxes and fees apply.
Progressive makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your motorcycle, RV, boat, ATV, and more. All your protection in one place. Bundle and save at progressive.com. That's progressive.com.
He's been covering the National Football League for close to 50 years. A longtime NFL writer, broadcaster, and Hall of Fame voter, Howard Balzer. Now on Roc and Manuch with JB on Fox Sports 910.
Out here at Twin Peaks in Glendale, and my least favorite time of the year, and that is to talk about the Cardinals' upcoming schedule. Manuch, for some reason, wants to break down every game, wants to look at it by quarters of the season, meaning, the first quarter September, second, and then if they go, 3-1 or 1-3, whether they need to improve or whatever, it's an absolute joke. And I'm sorry to do this to Howard, because Howard comes on every week with us, and he gives us good stuff, good content. However, today, the suits want me to ask you about the NFL schedule. So here we are, Howard Balzer from, Cards Wire, and I just need to know, is this a fun week for you to really kind of break down your guess on how many wins and losses for the Cardinals? You've been doing it for 50 years now, right?
How long am I allowed to snore for?
Yeah.
Here's what I'll say, and doing it for all this time, I think a great poll would be, for all the listeners, what is worse, mock drafts or breaking down a schedule and predicting wins and losses in May for individual games that are months and months away? It's kind of crazy, but the reality, guys, is that the reason there are a million mock drafts and the reason there's 3 hours of TV shows on the schedule is because the people watch it and they can't get enough of it. And it's just crazy stuff. And what can you do? It's interesting to look at certain things and, who has 3 games in a row on the road. And, the fact that Netflix is, here's another streaming partner coming into the NFL that'll do the Christmas Day games. But actually looking at it all and trying to say, here's what the first 4 games are going to look like, when the reality is we know between, maybe not now, but between the start of training camp and the beginning of the season, who knows who's going to get hurt, who knows not going to be there. Just think in New York what they were thinking last year, right, with the Jets, and then Aaron Rodgers gets injured on the 4th play of the season and is done for the year. So I guess it's a necessary evil. But I guess that's my take on it all.
You look at the schedule. You look at the Rams. I'm assuming the Chargers and the Cardinals on Monday Night Football, plus ESPN plus 2 Monday night games. Plus, yeah. ESPN plus. It's like a backhanded compliment. Like, well, you know what, Cardinals, we like you, but we're going to put you on the backup channel.
And not only the backup channel in terms of you have to subscribe to it, but there's another game that night, which starts only an hour early. So the question is, obviously, people in LA or Chargers fans and Cardinals fans and this market will watch, and it'll be on one of our over-the-air stations. But nationally, starting at 9:00 Eastern time, seriously? Not going to be much of a national foothold, obviously, for that game. But it's good they at least got one. And now they're saying, hey, prove it to us. And next year will be, a little bit different. I think from the team standpoint, on one level, yeah, you like the exposure of being on national TV. But when your schedule is all over the yard with Thursday and Monday and this, that, and the other, boy, it just throws you off your routine. So I think in a certain manner, teams like it when they don't have a lot of those games and they can just settle into, what they do on a week-to-week basis and keep it consistent. So now there is a possibility they'll get some national exposure. What is it, on the next to the last, or even the last? They're picked as one of the pool teams for week 17 for a possible game on Saturday. And the next week there'll be 2 games on Saturday, which we don't know which ones they'll be now. So it's a possibility if things go decently for them and they're in the hunt and they're playing division teams, that they could be on then. But obviously that will all depend on how they play, which is essentially how it should be.
Also, just real quick, only the 2 preseason games listed. Everybody's pretty much got their three preseason games listed. The Cardinals not picked up their 3rd game yet.
No, they've got three. They've got the three. We know who the three are. We don't know the dates and the times. In fact, the third one is on national TV.
Yeah.
The two road games what are Indianapolis
and Denver.
Yep. And so it looks like the Cardinals will be going to Indianapolis for some practice days before that one, unless it's Denver. You know, Jonathan Gannon has said we're going east. And so I don't know if I guess Denver's a little east, but not like Indianapolis. The third game is the home game. I think it's against New Orleans, if I'm not mistaken. And that's on CBS. So granted, it's the third preseason game. I mean, who knows what players are going to be playing, but they are getting a little bit of exposure there in the final preseason game of the summer.
Howard Balzer is our guest on the Right Toyota guest line. So my follow-up question then to you, Howard, with only the 3 preseason games, how much do the starters play, particularly the offensive line and the new wide receivers, so they can get some game timing issues in?
No, that's the big question, and all teams face it. And what we've seen is a lot of the starters don't play for very long because obviously coaches live in fear of injuries and all those things. And so what you hope that, but you know, you're on basically the same level as all the other teams because most teams are doing it similarly. And so you hope to build up a lot of that chemistry and all that on the practice field during training camp, certainly in the OTAs, which begin next week, and then the mini camp in June, and then whatever time they get on the field. But of course, you know, the training camp practices and all that, and then practicing against the Colts where you get some good work done. So you won't see a lot of it because you're just not going to play those guys for a lot of time in those games because they live in fear of injury. It's just the reality of it. You know, one quick note on the schedule, I think, is, you know, one thing that was good to see in a way is that, you know, you knew you were going to play Buffalo on the road. You knew you were going to play Green Bay on the road. You didn't know when it was going to be. Well, it's good that the Buffalo game is in September. The Green Bay game is in October. So you don't have to deal with weather there in terms of later in the season. And I'll tell you, even the Miami, where I think it's late October, is better being there in late October than it is in early September, and what the weather can be like there with the heat and humidity. So I think they got a couple of little, you know, breaks in the schedule, but obviously it's all going to come down to how they play and how healthy you stay and all those things, and how all these young players, how the guys from last year improve, and what kind of an impact the rookies this year. They got obviously they got a lot of draft picks that are looking to make a name for themselves as quickly as they possibly can.
All right, with all that said, and you don't like mock drafts or the NFL schedule coming out, have you kind of peeked at it and said, all right, this team's going to go 8-9 or whatever it is? I mean, have you kind of looked at that, or that's not something you do?
No, it's not. You know, I mean, it's you can guess at all those things, but it's, you know, it's impossible. I just think generally that, you know, judged on the way this team played last year and looked pretty decent down the stretch. You know, they're 3-5 with Kyler Murray, and Matt Prater kicks a field goal in the finale. They end up 500 in the games that Kyler Murray played, and now you've added talent to the offense and you've added some other talent to the defense. And here's the way I look at the NFL guys: if when you hit December and you've got 5 or 6 games left, whatever it might be, and you're right around 500 at that time, guess what? You're in the hunt for a playoff spot. Now, what happens in those games obviously determines it. But you bounce around 500, and it is at that. You know, hey, they're 4-13, which is a bad record. But you win 3 of those games you lost, and all of a sudden you're 7-10. You're not that far away from being 500. So I think that's, you know, I'm going to admit deep down that's what they want to accomplish. But I think it's very possible to do that, you know, 8-9, 9-8 area, or at least have a shot at it coming down the stretch, and be playing some meaningful games in December, and when you hit that, you know, final week in January.
And I think the other thing we talk about too, if the key term, if they stay healthy, here's the prediction,
sure.
And then who gets healthy the last, to your point, Howard, the last 5 games, or last 5 games, detriment or determination on how team those last 5 games.
There's no question about it. I mean, injuries are I believe, have always been, always will be the overriding one of the biggest aspects of who does well and who doesn't. And I know when teams have injuries, you hear all the cliches that people throw out, right? Oh, next man up, all teams have injuries and all that stuff. There's no question that a lot of times some teams are hit a lot harder by them than other teams. I mean, heck, you look at the Cardinals last year, that defensive line that they trotted out there for the last game of the season was, a whole bunch of guys that weren't even with the team in training camp. Now, just on paper, that defensive line looks a whole lot better and a whole lot more. The key is, obviously, like you said, is being healthy. And that determines so much in the NFL in a game where I don't know the exact percentage, but when you talk about the number of games that are decided by one score or less, it's huge. And there's about 70 to 75% of the games in the NFL that are one-score games in the fourth quarter. So obviously that's, a lot of those teams that are in that situation are teams that didn't end up with good records. So it's like you said, being healthy and finding ways in the fourth quarter, being a team that knows how to finish. And you win more of those close games than you lose. And all of a sudden, look at Minnesota. I mean, Minnesota 2 seasons ago, what were they, 11-0, I think, in one-score games, and they were in the playoffs. Last year they weren't as good, and granted they got Kirk Cousins hurt, but they just weren't as good a football team, and they lost a bunch of close games. So that's the difference maker in the NFL.
Howard, thank you for your time, man. Have a good day.
You too, guys. Take care.
Howard Balzer joining us. You can follow him on Balzer721, part of USA Today and the Cards Wire. I appreciate his time. Coming up next, we'll tell you what's on tap on the tube tonight. Plus, we'll